seen for a couple of times. And Tom, I know you're excited to see, how FNATIC can answer back to this, but so far it looks like they're probably going to go for quite a comfort pick as well.
Yeah, I actually really like FNATIC's Haven comp as well. I think the combination of Astra and Sage that actually comes out onto Durka is something that they were almost reinventing things with how they used the divide combination with the Ice Wall, something that they were thinking about for quite a while. So I don't know. I think that realistically, their composition is actually very good on this map as well. It's just the Team Liquids was almost so far out of what we expected to see that
would have been here. Especially in the look, the form that they both hit, but what a time to come into it. Starting out, be Liquid on the attacking side, FNATIC on the defensive side, and already early action.
Yeah, very, very deep up here on A lobby for both teams. Spike actually going to be dropped early. Cryptics will trade back out into Mystic. FNATIC now in a 3v4. Spike will be retrieved. Scream trying to close down the distance here. Look at that. Will be hard cleared, and let's see, Durka and Magnum actually on the flank. Cryptics ready for it, lands a headshot, but it will stabilize for the time being.
Now, take a second, breathe it in. A 2v3, but look at the pace that FNATIC are trying to get back into this with. Durka has to hit the brakes for just a second. 3 on the site. Post-plant begins. Nice little smoke comes down. Link going to create a little bit more safety to work with. And Link will be probably the one to receive. This wall goes in. He knows what's up, but Killjoy's going to make it a little bit trickier for him, but no, maybe not. Link's just fine. Liquid with 3 standing, a spike plant, and the first round on the board.
Actually really close to getting that one. Magnum through the alarm bot. Whilst he's in the smoke, did reveal Link's position, but they weren't able to clean that up and actually end up both falling inside the smoke. But I mean, honestly, early on, expecting same sort of aggression in the early round for FNATIC. We know how proactive they like to be, particularly on Haven, on defense. But I mean, Liquid were there to receive it, to be quite honest.
They 100% were, and I love the fact we get to see these two teams play each other. We've seen so many stylistic or characteristic pieces. Soulcast with that, dirty flash that has been so good. We've seen now the adaptation, the elevation coming out from the likes of now Magnum on the squad, Durka there. You're going to have so much to look at. Now this should be a comfortable round. If we look at the win conditions coming in for FNATIC here, you want to do a bit of damage, force maybe some uncomfortable reinvestments, and maybe a spike plant or two. But you're not really assuming that you're going to have a round win here. So for Liquid, keep it clean for them. Keep whatever they can in the pockets, work further forward, don't lose out on players.
Yeah, and with Boaster walking mid and them spotting out, I mean, whatever they did over on C, they're going to hit the rotate, going to have free access to A's site. Still a little bit hesitant, but Yampy now going to clean up whatever's left in mid. Will actually find 3 kills on the round. Doma finally trade that one out. The only man to invest a Sheriff. If you can do any more damage here, I mean, you've already said it, Liquid, they keep 4 alive, it's a big win.
Planted.
Ride these weapons into the next. Soulcast and Scream actually playing very close by. Scream just going to swing onto that one. Nicely done by Liquid.
Yeah, lovely stuff. 4 standing. And progress-wise on the ults, I mean, Yampy and Cryptics, solid beginning, and we talk about players who might respond well to getting a good start. Yampy might be that. Confidence players.
Yeah.
It's going to be one of those that may kind of encourage that aggression that we know that he loves to dabble with, that we kind of got caught off guard by the Killjoy initially when that first got brought out with him, because we thought, oh, is that actually going to work out? And he actually made it look pretty good. So at this point, no worries there. We're looking for the kind of, I guess, pendulum to swing to the favourable side now of FNATIC, with the rifles coming on board.
I think you make a good point as well, because obviously Yampy coming onto the Killjoy has been a big talking point, but it's kind of, the unorthodox playstyle he brings to it, right? Obviously on that operator and way in which he likes to play, particularly on defense. So I think you're right about these early confidence boosters for him. Focus actually clear out through garage here. Gonna see Magnum going to pop preemptively. The Nano Storm will find the wallbang onto Scream, so drawing first blood in this round. FNATIC will have a man advantage early on.
Durka just shoulder peeking this. Didn't catch one, saw the final cross there. enough information to be relayed and support going to be hitting those rotations already. Sky's going to be towards the site. You're going to see maybe even a little bit of a lean from that Raze, kind of just putting a almost shoulder towards the connector, but it's Durka still here, and he's been exceptional at holding this generally, so we'll see how he fares. You're going to have the slow creep up, and yeah, he does exceptionally well again. Durka now puts the wall up, tries to deny any quick pace off the back, takes the peek. Oh, that's good. He even knows there's another now. Great damage done, and this is perfect play. This is why we look at Durka as being one of those huge swing-ups for FNATIC, as the latest form from them has been impeccable.
Zolka's going to send a flash up. Actually, Boaster already closing the distance on the flank, and there you go. Link and Soulcast will fall. I love the play from Durka there. The slow orb goes down first. He throws the wall up, and actually he's got an opportunity to peek off the top of the box whilst they're still in the slow. A little messy, but finds one kill nonetheless. I mean, potentially has an opportunity to find both there. It's a little bit off with the spray, but didn't end up mattering all that much, and FNATIC will put their first on the board. See, another buy coming out from Liquid. Yampy, the only one really down on the Sheriff, but lockdown available here, so potentially we'll see an execute here.
Placing swarm grenade.
And I'd see some of, people caught off by the no duelists, but hey, this is not the first time we've seen it, and it's looked actually very good when it comes out for these teams. They can make it look exceptionally well refined, and it's more the players on the agent than the agent themselves. Just keep your eyes on Yampy is all I'm going to say. Maybe not this round, who knows. But again, if you are just tuning in, I know some of you ignore us while we're on cam. You only tune in once we're in the match, which, hey, I don't blame you. It's actually going to be, none of these teams are really in trouble. This is for that first spot, for the pride on the line. We obviously, Durka now cleared out. That's lovely work. The flash now bails him out, though. Look at that. Oh, no Durka! That flash setup, that little piece of play there was so well done between Durka and Mystic, just kind of waiting it out with that flash to hand. Link, yes, he can make a play up here, but... Oh, okay. Caught me off. Link, fair enough, fills the gap, but the spike is down by Durka.
And the gravity roll was so perfectly timed as well.
True.
Set him up for that. Durka's cleaning house in sewers. Link and Cryptics now. Gotta try and dig that spike out from sewers, but again, Magnum and Boaster bringing up the flank here. Gonna try and reinforce with Durka. It'll be really difficult for them to get something done. 25 seconds left on the clock as well.
This is tricky. So many players in such unorthodox positions now. See Boaster just going through the time there, buying it, takes the fight, wins it, looks for another, not going to get it, but the trade's effective for Magnum. But the start of that round was the key piece, right, Hypoc? Let's kind of throw our minds back to that short little setup that we had between Durka and Mystic, I guess initially, but then Boaster's addition as well.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's you'll see it perfectly here. The slow orb goes through. It's time for the gravity well to completely lock them down here, and Durka finds it. I mean, I'll go ahead and say it, probably the 3 easiest kills we're going to see all day.
We take those.
All day.
We absolutely take them, but beautiful combination of work. A lovely little crunch there from FNATIC, and you can see what it means. Liquid, there's no reply to be had to that. You've been absolutely done. So at this point, though, we look back towards Liquid as their money will, of course, have suffered. We do still have Scream on the rifle, but everyone else suffering accordingly. Judges, sheriffs, and a little bit of light armor.
Yeah, weird purchase to see it 2-2, to be honest, but maybe this is based around the Ultimates Lockdown and Viper's Pit available, but Doma should be able to catch Yampy, and there it is, yeah. And 4 members of Liquid, no choice but to watch that one go down.
Scout destroyed.
Looking like Liquid still want to force the issue here. The flash going to come through the backside. Smoke's down as well.
Satchel out.
Again, utility of front sight going to keep Liquid at bay for the time being. Boaster once again creeping.
They've gone through on the site though, so that time limit might be a little bit tricky now. Mystic needs to live, and he does, at least for the first. Spike is planted, but there's the cleanup crew making it to the site on time. Refined, and talking about, let's say, fundamentals or the things that really make a team look solid in rounds like this, keeping it clean. Yeah, they'll give up the spike plant. That's fine. It could spiral potentially, but those flanks were great. They were well timed. Yes, they didn't get too many initial kills, but the positioning at the end was fantastic to clean back through. And with Mystic be able to hold down these extremities, allowing all the players to be knowing exactly where they're going to be. Beautiful play back in.
Well, the problem is, I mean, I said it early on, with the weapons they've got, they're forced to play close contact somewhere, right? Which is, I mean, timing-wise on that round, as soon as they lose the first member, Yampy in mid, you kind of have to sit there and watch it happen. That whole time, there's no information elsewhere on the map, and it gives Boaster all the time in the world to fully clear everything. I mean, walking through. Once again, actually, Boaster getting a little bit feisty down mid. Get himself into window early on in the round. Cryptic's here to greet him once again. Boaster comes out on top.
All right, Smoke Criminal, I see you, Boaster. Yampy now, yeah, can't quite aim train his way out of that window, but does a good job of it. Magnum bests him. Spray down from Magnum, actually finds another. That's incredibly surprising. I thought Soulcast was going to convert that, but apparently not. 2 now left. Link and Scream towards the site. Spike, hands of Link going to be planted. Scream on bodyguard duty, but the 3 playing back in through Garage, taking their time, and there's the ult invested.
Yep, Orbital Strike going to cancel out the lockdown immediately, and they can't get past this wall just yet. Well, actually, Liquid look like they want to play this aggressively. Link and Scream both creeping up towards
They need to.
Oh,
They need to. They 100% needed that. Link, no way did you just pull that off. And Durka undoes it. He's the heartbreaker right now. Liquid fans on the copium as we speak. But FNATIC's Durka is the immovable man, right? He's just like, oh, Link, you thought you were going to get a little clip there? You thought you were going to be on the Reddit? No. The round's ours, boys. 4-2. FNATIC stable, keeping things cooking, and the economy is outstanding. We're seeing already 9k being thrown around here. They're already fantastic. Link made the right choice, right, Hypoc? He had to make a play. He had to be proactive. They were, in a 2v4? You don't normally win those if there aren't too many mistakes, so he had to be proactive, but again, a swift answer back from Durka.
No, you're right. They've got to do something to swing that back in their favor. Odds-wise, they give FNATIC time to set up. It's only going to go badly for them. Still got the Viper Spit in the lockdown available. Cryptics and Yampy. We haven't seen Liquid lean towards an execute based around those. Those Cryptics, you can expect him to do that post plant. Soulcast again on the judge. He was one that bought it previously as well, so I'm not sure if his economy has suffered for a couple of rounds now because of those offbeat. But, oh, the timing there. Scream just gives up the angle. And our Boaster once again to creep his way through. And with the turret down, the utilities offline, they're not going to have any flank control whatsoever.
And this is quite quick. If there can be a little bit of time bought in middle, if Noma can keep them busy, this is where the flank could be huge. And there's going to be a player beside him as well. Magnum's right there. Boaster doubles down. This is comfy work looking like for FNATIC. They've got this one wrapped up. And this is just beautiful play from Boaster. We've been talking about this guy as initially the IGL, right? The man who had the personality, the man who's always going to be on the webcams doing the dances, always getting the fans' attention, but he's the real deal in the server right now. You can't look past it. The combination that he's been coming up with, not only in his kind of strategic approach, the kind of IGL sort of mentality that he brings, but also the firepower that he's elevated.
Yeah, for sure. I want to see Liquid kind of reset a little bit here, take a little more control in the early round, maybe spread a little more thin in the default. So they've got to keep Boaster in check. If they allow him to keep doing this, and unfortunately the timing there with obviously the turret going offline.
Yeah.
Scream just giving up that angle a split second before he would have caught line of sight. But look at it again. Liquid is so stacked up and is so deep into spawn and towards A lobby. Yes, the purchase is not so good here, but FNATIC going to make them pay for it here. And they have all the information. The fact that they're not seeing anybody here. The Cosmic Divide actually goes up to block the turret, Lauren.
This is sick. That space now is massive to be worked with. Liquid, they don't know what's coming their way. Durka's going to be denying them already at the very start of things. They're all bundled up towards long, and there's the man around the back. It's going to be Boaster again. One player this time is all he's going to achieve. Scream will put him to bed. But by this point, they're down to 3 players. This is going to be brutal to try and build a way out of. You've lost all information on the flank now, so they have to clear meticulously. 47 seconds on the board is all they've got to play with.
Yeah, they're actually going to revert back towards A. Still 3 players. I mean, to be honest, Magnum can chill. He's got all of his utilities set for long here, and with Scream kind of giving away his whereabouts.
30 seconds left.
FNATIC can just hold strong here.
Scream.
Creeping. Still want to make something happen here on A.
Yeah. I mean, you've got 50. Oh, Doma. It's nasty. It's nasty of you, Doma. There's no way past it. Mystic on the swing because they had to deal with Doma. The synergy between these players right now is exceptionally good. No dangers to be had. No over-peaking. No overstepping. I love this. This is FNATIC just looking strong. They're not depending on just kind of, you know, these quirky plays. They're not doing anything too weird and wonderful. Some really nice utility pieces, but beyond that, this is just very smooth sailing. They're crossing all the T's, dotting the I's, and it looks beautiful. 6-2, Liquid. You're right. They need to get a little bit of a reset here, find a way back in. Maybe get a couple of players feeling themselves. Scream 2-6 right now. Yampy 6-8. They're your pop-off players. So might need them to find a little bit more space. Oh, Yampy.
You got that operator online, but Doma taps it out. Fine, that Scream does have the res here, but it's tricky being in the open at the end of C Long to make that work for them.
You will not
See, they are going to stick you here, Doma. I don't think. Oh yeah, yeah. See, a little bit overzealous trying to
Ambitious.
shut that down, and we'll lose his life for it.
But Boaster is still here. He's got support through Garage, and the rotation coming in from Durka. So Yampy, you don't often get 2 bites at the cherry. And now he's in a bit of trouble. Oh, that's not pretty. He's been outdone by Durka just flying up on top, and now it's going to be pretty much a comfortable round, question mark, at least on holding C. Now I'm looking at the minimap here. I'm seeing the Spike making a mad dash towards A. After maybe seeing Durka, Doma, some of these players who are more categoristically towards A, you're going to see them go for it. Now Magnum can thread the needle. Now this will probably catch off one. There it is. Magnum now knows what's up. And the rotations have already come in. Smokes are down. Spike to be planted.
And really, I mean, that removes a big piece off the board for Liquid in this post plan, because that's Viper's Pit. Cryptic's being that far away and getting caught off guard. Magnum already on the flank. Orbital strike available for Link, but yeah, they've got to take some active angles here, and Scream will find Boaster. So the pinch is on.
One enemy remaining.
Scream. We need one of those magical moments, please. He's looking for it. He's trying to find that headshot, but Durka is having a game, ladies and gents. Sit back, crack open a tinny, and enjoy this, because that's now going to be 7-2. FNATIC starting to stretch their legs a little in this, take a bit more of that decisive lead.
Yeah, again, I gotta say it, yes, that kind of fell apart, and they had to invest a lot in terms of throwing bodies towards C-Long, but Magnum, again, just able, on the back of that, to walk mid for free, is close enough to hear out the rotation and catch the trailing player, which was Cryptix, making his way back off C-Long, and I understand why he's there that long. He's still trying to make FNATIC think potentially that hit's coming towards C, but little things like that, early on in these rounds, I mean, Magnum and Boaster in particular know that they can get away with murder in terms of this creeping.
Scream. Ooh! Outdone by Doma, not necessarily. Oh my word,
Magnum
these
again.
boys have shut it down. Liquid thought they could be brave, be bold for a second, took a step out, took maybe a fight, and they just get absolutely decimated. FNATIC are rolling through this game.
This is the problem now. Again, the first time that they actually try and fight for it, and they get absolutely destroyed, right? So now it's going to have them thinking, well, we can't fight for mid, we can't give up the flank, we can't stack up towards A-Long, we fight for that control.
Spike down.
Honestly,
mid.
Liquid
One enemy
kind of short for ideas right now, and they was just so clean. As soon as contact comes through, Magnum, I mean, has a free peek. Picks up those 2 kills in mid.
Now, again, keep in mind this will be a tactical timeout for Liquid coming in. These boys will be looking through their options, I imagine, at this point, trying to consider what the best foot forward is. And again, I don't think I need to lie to you guys at home. I genuinely feel these teams need to be refining maybe some unique elements in this. You know, mid-round calling, mid-round adaptation, good ways to note how players like to play. I would say FNATIC are a very unorthodox team, though. They're very hard to kind of go, well, grand scheme, we're going to look at them like we're looking at maybe North American teams. They do not play the same. It hit different, all right? So, again, I think it's going to be interesting to see what Liquid can come up with on the fly now.
Yeah, just look at the buy again for Liquid. 2 judges, a Guardian, and a Bulldog. A Sheriff on Yampy. Still got the lockdown, still got the Viper's Pit. FNATIC just not even giving them an opportunity to get them online as I say that. You're going to get both invested here towards B. Magnum again looking to creep, and he's completely unchecked once again. It is traded out, but
Spike planted.
can't keep getting away with murder. Now, obviously, they have judges to play inside the Viper's pit, so not a terrible situation for them.
No. Scream's position's gonna be quite interesting. I want to see what he does with this. That's what he's gonna do. Finds Mystic, looks good at it. All goes up, still tries to maintain, and he does. This is Scream now, just having one of those rounds, maybe a little fired up after the kind of uncharacteristic losing of the jewels in the previous, but now Dome up. Was the man who kept him humbled. Not gonna get it this round. And now just Boaster alive, and this one will be going Liquid's way.
Yeah, if he can, again, really do any damage here. Judge is the best gun in the game. Don't worry about it.
Last round in the half.
That will be Liquid. I mean, getting back on the board, posting a round win. We'll be able to get some rifles. Obviously upgrading that round.
Knocking them, pulling them in.
Scoreline not looking great at all. Really, I've said this a few times before, you know, if this ends as 8-4, it's nothing short of a miracle. With the way this half has played out, really, it's a miracle if Liquid can close this out with 4 rounds.
Dirk are going to be up on the op as well, and that's something we hadn't seen too much of. He doesn't really need it. We've seen him to be that hybrid player. He's not one of those that have 100% dedicated to the op, but when he picks it up, he's exceptionally good at it. I mean, what's he not good at this point? Soulcast trying to exploit with a little tuck your head down, try and stay out of dodge, and actually managing to stay alive. Magnum.
How did that work?
I don't know how the big boy himself didn't get found, but Durka, there's Yampy. Finally, Yampy feels like he wants to maybe wake up a little here today. Bit of a quieter start. Boaster goes for a walk down towards C long. Can't outdo Cryptics, though. Now 3 remain for the FNATIC side. Seekers coming through, going on past by Cryptics. You can see the heal coming out as well, just to get him top back up.
Actually, Magnum going to invest the lockdown, countered with the orbital strike as well. Flashes traded back and forth, but it's actually FNATICs that land. We'll find 2 kills off the back of that. Cryptics and Yampy up against Magnum and Doma here. Yampy has managed to get all the way into B site. We'll find the first Doma.
Enemy remaining.
We'll pick that up. He's got the showstopper online as well, so
30 seconds left.
big advantage here. And Cryptics down to 69 HP.
If you just said anything you can do, I can do better. But let's see if Doma can deal with this post-plant. Boombot gives him room. He knows that... Oh, that bye-bye doesn't even matter. No!
Yeah,
You died
Doma's
to the
loving that
Roomba.
one.
Yeah.
And like earlier, I guess that's the freest kill Doma's going to get all day. The Boombot closing that one out for him. FNATIC will finish up 9-3.
Beat them twice the number.
The defensive half, really, really good stuff. I mean, it's all on Liquid now to really turn this around early on.
And look, we know that FNATIC's offensive side is solid. They're probably one of the... It's hard to say better teams overall, you know what I mean? Because you could argue that FPX are one of the better teams overall, but they ain't here, so what does it matter? I would say, though, that FNATIC in their current form are so hard to deal with, and we have all ghosts.
And this is the thing, you talk about them being unorthodox, but it's the synergy around that.
It is.
It's how much they're willing to invest 3, maybe 4 bodies sometimes on these walking mid. You know, Magnum swinging out Garage as soon as Boaster gets contact, and it's the willingness to make that kind of unorthodox play work.
Well, we do have Yampin being made the raid boss here. Frenzy out, light armor on. Going for a wander down towards Sewer. And Boaster beginning to have a little bit of a exploration middle through towards Garage.
He's got a lot to deal with here with Link actually drifted away. He's going to get caught on the gravity well as well and dealt with very quickly now. Link actually falls onto him. He's good for 2, but traded out. Brings it to a 3v3 here as rotation's starting to come through for Liquid, but Spike planted with almost no pressure coming back on, so they can set up comfortably for this post plant.
Scream gonna start his crusade further towards the site. Mystic on site itself. Boaster at the back box. And timing on this flash is going to be integral. Yeah, Boaster. Boaster! Okay, it worked, it's fine, we didn't see anything. Yampi now the 1v2 was up on the armor earlier, that's been depleted. Spots out the tail end of one, but it's Mystic to find him. And FNATIC start things off with a bang. Great beginning for them. Now keep in mind this is a best of 5, it's a longer series, but FNATIC at this point coming out and looking sharp today.
Yeah, and on double digits, on the brink of going to 11 as well, with Liquid looking like they're going to throw Sheriffs at this round. I mean, surprised really with the purchases in the first half, they're not going to just force back in. Here, see FNATIC stacking up towards A lobby this time, and
Pulling them in.
I mean, again, just look at the difference here. There's it's spread a lot wider here in the early round, so they have this map control. They're going to be able to pick up Soulcast here because Magnum is ready and waiting for the possibility that Liquid try and get a little funky with it. There you go.
Spot on.
Big difference.
And now the push just seems too easy. Sounds brutal, but maybe Cryptics can dissuade me from my opinions. Gonna find Durka. Pulls Boaster back in for a second. Looking Yampi. Gets to try and play the game on the site. No, not allowed. No games today for you. Boaster puts him into the next round as Cryptics link and scream. Okay, Cryptics. Oh. And now the last two a mile away. Spike to be planted. And the post plant should be pretty comfortable.
Screaming again. Goes without saying, if they want a way back into this half, they're going to do some damage here. I'm going to get tagged up by Boaster. Information. Give it over to FNATIC now, and they can just stabilize. Your death grip on the C site. Going to come in, try and die to the spike at least, but Mystic ready with the flash here.
Oh, the timing could not have been worse. Scream, lovely shot, but the round is what he was aiming for, which of course FNATIC are gonna garner. This is solid stuff from FNATIC. No need to overdo it, but everyone's having a good game so far from that side. This isn't just the Durka show, it isn't just the Magnum show, it's everyone's having a good approach so far. It's now or never, I'd say, for Liquid at this sort of score margin, Hypoc. They have to win this round.
They do. I'm just looking at it. I mean, 5 light armors across the board. Best ult progress is Link. He's 2 away from the orbital strike, so nothing really to, I guess, sway this back in their favor.
Pulling them in.
FNATIC actually able to get 2 rifles online here. Magnum and Durka with a random Vandal and Phantom, respectively.
Looks like Boaster's first test would be towards Yampi and towards B. Doma creeping sewer.
Taking that back.
Boaster clearing out a little bit of that utility on the way if possible, and I think Yampi might repush this. It's Yampi. Yeah, of course he does. And he goes. Magnum now gone. It might even encourage him to play a little faster. It does. The timing for Yampi works out so well. Boaster turns his back, but now there's more. And there he stands, and there he goes. Durka with the effective trade. And now look at what's left. It's still a 3v2. Durka and Doma are still very much alive in this. Doma's got space, and he can get towards the site uncontested here.
Still got his nade as well. And Durka's got the wall, so a good opportunity, really, with all 3 players of Liquid opting to try and flank here. Durka and Doma could potentially force them into one of the choke points coming back onto A's site. Now, if... Oh, he's actually going to wall off the spawn.
It's fair enough.
Why is that? I mean, yeah, no information. He's got to invest it one way or the other.
Toxins going up.
I guess with the Viper wall on this side, they're going to get pretty close to the burst on this. Durka is still sitting towards that graffiti side there. And yeah, look at the shutdown. It's still solid for them. It's going to be Cryptics on 100, though, and Doma did already readjust towards the site itself. Doing the dance, Cryptics tries to clear it for free, but Doma up and over. Wants to find him quickly. He's just trying to buy the time. Cryptics can't get to him. Oh, Doma! Just too damn good.
He's done him dirty there. It's still at his nade as well, so if potentially he runs the clock down a little more, he can force Cryptics off the defuse as well. Just so well played between Durka and Doma. And again, it's the 2-for-1. As soon as Liquid stack up and they're ready and they're in a position where they can actually attempt this retake. And it's a 2-for-1 trade in favor of FNATIC. Really, really well played from them, and puts them on map point already. Liquid getting shut out of this one.
Pulling them in.
Again, a funky purchase. Look at it. 2 Spectres, a Guardian, a Judge.
Oh, Scream. Out of nowhere. Finds 2. I mean, we weren't expecting that, and clearly the Observer wasn't either. That was just out of nowhere. Now, yeah, I think FNATIC have gone, what? This is just one of those rounds where you've just been screamed, right? It happens. Scream if you want to go faster, but there is an answer. It's down to 2v3.
As well.
Okay, Seeker's come up. And Durka's... Oh, this is so good from Durka. He's still trying to find the kills. He knows where they're going. Rez comes in. Right, 3v3 now. While this happens, Mystic, though, is slowly working towards C. There go the counter Seekers as well, coming back out. Soulcast now knows he's not necessarily as safe as he thought he may have been, but he has the info. Boaster going to slip through towards B. Can cut off the rotations. 2 players are now being held back, at least behind Boaster. So this is big information. Gun barrel doesn't show first, but Boaster still finds it. Great timing. Slipping away towards the back of sight. And now Link. Oh, he's gone as well. Boaster, good work towards B. Catching both of those players was essential to this. Soulcast knife out. Oh,
no.
Put it away. Durka just does it so well. What a great way to close this one out. FNATIC with map 1 in the pocket. Do remember, this is a longer series. These players need to stay...
Jet back in the mix.
Yeah, the thing is, I think this is a map where Team Liquid could definitely afford to experiment a little bit. And you know what? We got Jet Scream, man. That's all I need to see. I don't even care about anything else that's coming on the board.
What?
Sure, you've definitely got the Killjoy coming up for Yampi, which is interesting. You've had an awful lot of changes to their comp, but Scream Jet, that was one of the... That's basically... If you're a highlight reel creator, record this entire map because you are going to get something from Scream.
Yes, but Tom, Durka too. So this is going to be spicy. And Jonas, for those people who, for some reason, have never seen Scream play Jet, sum it up for us. What's the experience like?
So Scream was one of the first Jet players who were more confident as a rifler than an operator player, because you usually see Jet always picking up the operator because of her dash ability and being able to hold these off angles that are unexpected and do marvelous things and then dashing away and be completely safe. However, Scream with a Vandal in most cases is just a cheap way of using an operator anyway, because it just hits him in the head on the first shot. So that's why it's very interesting to see him, especially when you play attack. Sometimes having an operator...
Big brain Yinzu. It's fantastic. Good work, guys. All right, let's get into things. The UI's making me nervous. Don't know what's going on there, but we are live into the round, so let's start focusing up and see what we have on our hands. As, yeah, the UI's definitely hitting some spoilers up, I think.
Oh, look, guys.
So...
Don't look at it.
Close your eyes. All right. Trying to cast without a UI. This is a play-by-play caster's nightmare, but what is going to be a dream, though, is Doma going towards the side. Wall goes up, Spike goes down, and FNATIC looking to make the early moves. However, Scream does find Durka, that opposite number. We're waiting to see that potential battle come down on.
It was actually Doma going to find a headshot onto Link here, and Liquid stacked up, but FNATIC playing this very deep.
Scream starting to clear. That's lovely. Might even seen the other over towards the pipe. Boaster just on the other side of that wall trying to bide the time. And time is going to be a huge factor. Soulcast to find Boaster now. Here comes that counter push. Cryptics to find Mystic. And now just one player alive. And yeah, gone, done for, Magnum dead. That was quite the round to begin with, not just because my eyes were very confused, but across the board, a good beginning that they desperately needed.
Absolutely, and a clean hit, to be honest, to bounce back after that map 1. They need a dominant round like that, a comfortable round to get themselves on the board, start things off for Liquid, so really good stuff from them. The purchase coming back in, and just waiting to see what FNATIC decide to throw at this. A couple of sheriffs, but across the board, actually only really Yampi going to sit on a ghost for the time being, whether or not he does opt pick up an SMG alongside it. I mean, really, that potentially Yampi gonna save food for the operator as well this early on.
Durka did get shot down at the start by Scream, so maybe looking to try and pick up not necessarily the slack, but Try and keep his numbers up against his opposing number. Magnum going to take a lot of space here. That's massive. And Boaster kind of highlighting that position will make Link feel comfortable. And yeah, dead. Magnum now going to get the upgrade, but a quick trade out. Scream going to keep that one in check. Not allowed to get too dangerous, but Durka going to take some space in response. Scream on the lurk around the side. Going to catch a good few. And this is, again, very, very solid coming back in.
Again, confidence boosters early on. Get these clean rounds. A couple of players popping off. Scream 3 on the round so far. Important to note. Just early. Oh, won't even get the better of him there. Scream. Good for the 4th as well. But again, early on, we see Magnum he finds a gap and he slips through. Able to backstab. I think it was Link on Boiler, right? Scream very quick with the trade, but the fact that we mentioned that beforehand and Magnum already showing, even if he does it a couple of rounds now, it's gonna make Liquid play a little more cautiously. Always got to be aware of the possibility. It's almost like that reverse conditioning. Yes, he's not necessarily lurking this round, but we've got to be aware of it.
Keep it in the back of your minds. Durka now going to be leading the way, though. Trying to take a little space this time. Magnum following up as well. FNATIC going to start vying for that long control towards B. You're going to see the lean over as well from the Jet coming in. That being Scream, Yampy up towards yellow. Not necessarily first contact, but will swing once contact is made. And favour of the round will sit with FNATIC considering the rifles, but already Scream's got something to say about the matter. That's 1 so far, but gonna need to do a lot more as he is now alone on this site. The other 2 players will be on the way shortly, but for now, just trying to hold territory.
Yeah, FNATIC actually got to respect this for the time being, which will allow a little bit of a rotation to come out. Things quieten down for just a moment. Liquid potentially second guessing this, but FNATIC just waiting on that Viper utility to come back up. Durka going to find the first, the second. Link, last man up for Liquid here. Try and do some damage early on, and he's not going to get it. 4 will survive for FNATIc, and decent ult progress across the board, to be honest. Again, getting the orb there, and Doma 1 away from his. See, on the flip side, yeah, Scream invested his Bladestorm obviously to try and ride out and convert that round as well with some lesser weapons, but unfortunately only amounted to 1 kill.
And for FNATIC, this is a big tick in the box, though, isn't it? Keeping so many players alive. 4, Spike Plant. Great start into the gun round now for them. And of course, we saw the buyback in for a second there. You do get to see Yampy on the op. Scream sticking on the rifle, not too surprising. Kind of used to that by now. Magnum starting to take space. We'll keep our eyes on FNATIC as to what they want to do, but also the switch-ups of position here. This will be interesting how much faith they put in someone like Yampy, and it looks like a lot. You can see Viper sitting super deep, going to almost rotate off the site, so
He's got the operator here.
Exactly, a lot of faith put in that operator to hold these long lines, which, look, I mean, you got to kind of back your man, right? You got to put a lot of confidence in him, and I want to see what they do now that they have that additional freedom to maybe play a little bit more towards middle or lean towards the other sides of the map.
Well, you make an interesting point because there's actually 3 members of Liquid up here, and I think that's the Magnum effect, right? He's actually over towards A site. Early on, Liquid making the right decisions to just keep him at bay. Actually, look at this split coming through. Actually going to be able to wall off all the way into screens here and potentially get into the backside of A.
Yeah, but Scream... Oh, wow. Okay. I don't often see Scream miss like that. It looked like the low sense kicked him in the ass for once, but the players on the site still do a little bit of damage, but overall, FNATIC have taken site. Rez comes up. They're back up to 4 standing. Soulcast and Yampy, we saw earlier on, they were traditionally the B players, of course, so the rotate back in is a long one and an arduous task. Yampy with that op as well, probably looking to try and keep that if he feels that the odds are just simply too stacked against him.
It's a big weight on the economy here to risk giving this up in the retake, but also, I mean, just fundamentally get it back in with just the 1 rifle. You've almost got to play the trade off this operator. Yampy's got to be the first one to take the peak, but they will back off, try and hold on to this. Potentially muster some sort of purchase in the next round, or at least ride this out. And relatively clean on the side of FNATIC. Rez invested. I know he was close last time, but FNATIC happy to just sit this out. Don't even want to try and hunt this down. We'll tie things up 2-2.
Once the rifles have come out for FNATIC, they seem to have quelled the danger man, which is Scream, of course. We have to keep that in mind. He went on, what, a 7-kill run in the first 2 rounds. So, as I said, lovely burst through there on the wrap, taking down not only Scream, but Link as well.
Spike down A.
Don't often see Scream in a position where he does miss, honestly.
Well, yeah, and also just about half a second off as well. Potentially Scream looking to, I guess, tuck himself right into the corner of rafters there, but Link a little offbeat this peak.
Now, the buy coming back in here for Liquid is subpar. It does still have the kind of, I guess, the meat of the dinner. The op with Yampy, the rifle with Soulcast. We do have Scout, Marshal, Guardian.
The no armor Guardian from Screaming. He's looking for the taps, man. He's looking for the taps again. We
Wait
saw
for
him
him to
force
ace
out.
it, dude.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
It's just like one of those, you're like, alright, Scream, if you're purely just gonna go for this, I kind of want to see the headshot machine. But we'll see what he gets out of it. Again, he is just kind of the glass cannon in his own way. When I first started playing Valorant and we saw the Guardian, I was like, if someone with aim gets that gun, oh no. If someone really works on refining that, dearie me. Yampy's a little off timing on this. Yeah, lovely. Threading on the needle by Boaster there catches Yampy completely unawares. Now, yes, Soulcast is with him. Unrevealed as well, but it's all but a ruse. The spike's all over towards A. This doesn't matter. So he cryptics with it all in front of him. Spots one. Nah, not gonna get that on the whip there. Doma's gonna get it. And Link on the other side leans in, finds one, but now we have to see the headshot machine. Let's see if we do indeed talk about those one taps.
Player standing.
We definitely
Dirk
don't
is
talk
like,
about those.
no, you don't talk about that anymore. Soulcast now, the 1v3 presented. Or FNATIC will continue with this turnaround off the back of that first buy round that came in.
He's a long way away from saving that operator as well, so I think probably just going to look to maybe do some damage and hold on to this once again. I mean, he has the opportunity now. Yeah, you're going to see him run all the way over towards yellow, try and save that for Yampy, because I think actually coming into this, even with Soulcast forcing up some utility, Yampy was down to about 800 credits, so he's going to be in a bad position on the Killjoy to obviously purchase utility and a weapon and armor. So to come back and retrieve the operator for them. We'll take a quick look how that's going to leave Liquid overall, but you can see Yampy, yeah, 3,800, no utility. He would have really struggled to get something together here, so wise decision. Soulcast still 46 armor as well, so he can pretty much force back onto the Phantom. Still got 2 snake bites. A decent purchase really coming out of that. Not a lot left, to be honest. I mean, other than...
No.
Actually, wait. Yampy dropped over to Soulcast, so he's actually running light on utility here. It's only the alarm bot that he's got.
I mean, look, do you really pick up Yampy for his utility work?
Nope.
Nope. So, it's alright. And look at the space he's already gone. He's alleviated the pressure so they can hit these rotations early. You're going to have so much dedication towards this A site. Now, yes, they still have to deal with the hit, but Scream's going to be on duty. He's going to see more than enough information now, and especially with that deeper lurk coming out from Yampy taking so much space, Liquid can have full faith in this. Yes, maybe a little cautious of that mid lurk, but you still have Viper on the case. Now, FNATIC down to 3. If they try and back away from this, the line of sight will be favorable towards Yampy. So, FNATIC are almost forced to just go forward.
You see Liquid going to stack bodies on the site here. Cryptics will find Boaster on the swing. Mystic going to respond though. Link deals with that perfectly. And you make a really good point. Yes, with the lack of utility there, Yampy just not getting any contact in the early round. He could, and makes the most of a bad situation. He can't rely on that information or having the nano swarm to potentially bail him out and stop a rush coming through, but responds perfectly. Gets deep enough where FNATIC, if they do fall back, they're going to get farmed in the open. And there's 4 bodies on a site that can then pinch. They can push all the way through to belt.
Ooh. This is a switch up from the defending side. I want to see if they go aggressive maybe off this. I'm seeing 3 players stacked towards B very early on here. And it looks like maybe a mid piece coming out from FNATIC as well. So this could be quite interesting if we see maybe a push up here from the defending side. This could catch FNATIC in a really tricky spot potentially, or they'll miss each other like ships in the night. Now, they're going to kind of post up Yampy, it looks like, towards that B-long peak. Again, alleviate those rotation, like, kind of pressures. Allow maybe, you know, that Jet and that Viper to be a little bit more around and about. Soulcast now does get to focus towards middle a little more. Does get contact. Now you're going to see several fights on several fronts. Soulcast needs to be aware of mid. Yampy has to be aware of long. Yampy again turns that up into a shotgun. Takes down Boaster. Durka, though, wants to respond in kind, but the read comes out from Yampy in the shot as well. Yampy starting to just show off flex why this man was picked up by Liquid. Extremely diligent on that up. Soulcast with a bit of a wide swing on it allows Doma the chance to respond in kind, and now the 3v3 ensues, and Magnum, the play in middle, does get caught off, but now noted by both sides.
This is really tricky here. With, again, I was going to say Yampy stuck behind yellow. The Viper's bit invested upstairs. I'm actually going to get Durka back on his feet as well, just to make sure they can secure. Cryptic's the last man standing for Liquid. He's going to push on and find anything here, but a really strong setup with the 3-man of FNATIC here in the post plant. I don't even think he's going to find one. He won't. Mystic playing just inside behind the box. Yeah, Yampy nearly got something going there. And again, winning out versus Boaster close range on B lane was really the green light for everybody to push through connector, but didn't end up mattering because FNATIC got full site control there and in a position where they're able to, you know, at least pressure these rotations coming through with kitchen control and, you know, maybe a peek through to Hut. I didn't catch it, but just making them, you know, slow down for a couple of seconds to make sure that site's completely clear.
Back we go. Heavy lean towards B this time from FNATIC. No quick success,
And
though.
Liquid.
Yeah, and this 3-play stack, we saw it initially last round. They did fall off this when there was no quick contact. Now, they're going to see them stick around. Scream's right above them. They have no idea. This could be death from above. Scream, though, waits patiently. The timing has to be perfect. 2 players close, 3 deeper, but that's going to be Doma now gone. Big pickup there. Doma being removed takes away a little bit of that deeper sustain, that longer ability to keep this team on their feet. Magnum now feeling maybe a little less comfortable playing up on this side.
So things will slow down after that first blood. Really, I mean, Liquid able to sit as they are and go as 2-1-2 with Scream over towards Kitchen. And Durka not really getting a peek off the back of that. Magnum will drift up. He will find one player, but there's a second as Yampy's behind the wall right now, but numbers on here. Durka might actually find one. Yes, it's Scream inside.
Oh, and I was waiting for Yampy to just walk that wall, honestly. The trade was there, and you know Magnum was watching it too. Boaster trying to catch that mid flank, but no, Link breaks through. But now, looking at what's left, it's Cryptics and just Link in the 2v2. Durka and Magnum on the other side, spotted both out now. Durka has all the information. Magnum can fall away, get a nicer post plant. Even could go and sit so much deeper. Yeah, gonna depend on the ult. Basically secures this round, not necessarily for free, but
Look at Hunter's Fury.
Wait. And the investment on this is going to be interesting, because look at this flank from Durka. He can make this so costly, and now they're all... Oh, no! What is going... What? Hello? Hi, Buck, what has just happened?
What has just happened? Nobody, neither member of Liquid, like, no, there's no way. We heard that sound cue, but there's no way there's somebody behind us popping the Blade Storm. And interestingly enough, Cryptic's not using the Hunter's Fury off the rip to deny this lockdown. Like you said, all but seals this round. I can't believe
conclusion. That. Was a bit weird, wasn't it? And, well, Magnum's been called off too, but...
I mean, to invest the res and then not deal with the lockdown is really strange for me.
I mean, economy, sure, but then you see this and you're like, what? Yeah, I'm a little taken aback by that, I'm not gonna lie. And of course we see the knock-on effect. We mentioned economy. Well, look at the state of it for Liquid here. Yes, Cryptics of course will be fine. Soulcast is going to bring out a Judge, but the rest, far from perfect. Scream can try to fill that void, I guess, if wanted, but yeah, it seems though that is going to be the intention here. Yampy early damage received. Swing through from tunnel though, from the tube. Not bad. Link's going to find one. Let's see if they can get a gun away or do some more damage.
The Magnum going to juggle that one away, not giving Liquid a chance to retrieve it. You see, actually, it looks like that's what Liquid want to do. They're going to stack a second player over towards Tube now. Soulcast tucked in with the judge. God help FNATIC if they decide to push that. They are going to wait things out. Still 60 seconds left on the clock, so they can definitely wait to see if Liquid try and make a move. But B site wide open right now. FNATIC might actually drift over this way.
See what that internal timing's like. Yeah, suddenly you're going to see Scream kind of heading over. It is going to be just that tick as, you know, the smoke goes and they have to be a little bit more cautious of this. Now, there are plenty of ults available
Revealing area.
for Liquid. FNATIC still trying to build up quite meticulously. We're down to 30 seconds here. Scream waiting patiently on the site. Now have 3 players for Liquid. There's the ult we were waiting for, and actually he's going to deny the spike plant. This could be a problem now. Baits it out. Magnum finds Soulcast. Response not found for Scream. So FNATIC stabilizing Magnum.
Beautiful.
Again, huge work from him.
Again, you give him 15 seconds, and the positions he's able to work himself into are just so deadly. So deadly. Really good stuff. And see here, just on the minimap, the timing of this is, as they get B lane control, they get close enough to site, Magnum drifts back over. Perfectly played by FNATIC. And damage control-wise, yes, they trade early on. It comes to a 4v4, but Liquid aren't able to kind of descend on that and get anything working on the back of it.
Early ult investment coming out this time around. Soulcast wanting to try and contain as best he can towards B-Long, keep vision all his own. Eventually could funnel FNATIC here, but Magnum gonna hear Scream for sure. You ever see, you know, when like pets get the zoomies or like cats get the zoomies and they just run in like smack themselves into like a wardrobe or something? It's just kind of like that. But Yampy gonna miss the timing on the cross, counts to 3, hits mouse 1, doesn't quite get it. But Cryptic's will still on the side himself, so re-aggressing gonna take some of that space back. I don't know if Durka saw him then, I don't think he did.
No. Got to tuck himself into, ooh, whether or not that recon's gonna reveal it, it won't. Get dealt with by Link behind him. Cryptic should be good for at least 1 in this scenario. He absolutely is. Little drop off though, going to punish his recoil, but will come down to Durka in a 1v3
Show me
here.
the money. Show me the money, Durka. Let's go. 1v3, 39 seconds. That's time.
To die.
Yeah, alright, look, you gotta try and hype it up, right? You know how, like, in observing, you always follow the one player who's left alive in a 1v3? It's, you know, it'll happen like that Cadian clip in Counter-Strike, right? It'll be like, okay, it's a 1v4. You know, have I told you this story before? The classic. He starts off like that, you know? One day it'll happen and we'll be geniuses. It'll look great. Wasn't that round, though, so no worries. And here it is, yeah, Yampy just steps out. Easy stuff for him. And good to see Yampy finding a little bit more comfort, it seems like. He hasn't had a mad amount of rounds where he's popped off, but quite big impact. We saw that solo hold towards B, and he's dead. Okay, what was that, Durka?
And that's because they know Yampy's playing in that spot. But actually, look, Mystic's able there to
It's such a good read.
on the tag.
And I mean, this is, you know, pound for pound, if you're looking at countering a player, that's perfect. Durka knows exactly what the op's going to do. He's read Yampy's position super well, gets the op himself, still has his ult, depending on how he wants to play this out. Slow comes in, goes for a deeper angle if he wants to keep repeaking that. Scream trying his best to dissuade this, but he can't really deny it at this point.
On the Aldo. Gonna spy out Durka. Magnum again gonna catch the timing on the wall and keep your eye on the minimap. This whole time, FNATIC are just going to buy time for Magnum to get into a spot to secure this round. It's only one left
so
standing.
good.
And look at it, again, going to pick up Link. It's
Show me the
just
start.
beautiful.
Show me the start.
Last round
I just
before
want to
the
see that
switch.
beginning from Durka there. He goes, that was just straight up marking your man. That is straight up to find that first pick. And as soon as he takes down someone like Yampy, that's a huge gun recovered. You know that they're using him as the swing point because they can leave Yampy almost on his own. They leave him to kind of control B-Long, which is a pretty fair shout. It's worked well in the past. But the mid-game adaptation to just take him out of the equation, Stunning.
But it's perfect, because I mean, the owl zone goes off, so Yampi's posted there. He's like, somebody's going to peek with the owl zone, right? But because he's scoped in, Durka's so far out of his LOS. And again, look at it. Yampi tries to creep up, get himself behind the box. Durka opening this round up for FNATIC once again. Soulcast gets tagged on the recon. He's got to give it up. Can't play close with the judge. FNATIC going to find entry so early on towards B.
And there's a reason we were excited for some of these choices coming out. Durka, when he gets that freedom, when he starts being the instigator to some of these rounds, he can be essential. Scream, though, we know what he can do. This time quelled quickly by Boaster. Cryptic's back on the trade, though. Spike continues to tick, and look at the timing on this. There it is. Hunter's Fury going to come out, going to try and clear out some of these post-plant common positions. Nothing to be collected from that.
I guess that was to try and actually clear out the snake bite coming through. Soulcast lands a good shot, though. Doma will fall. I think the second snake bite's been invested. Yeah, just landed there. So Mystic and Boaster can play this one slow for the time being.
Last player standing.
He's actually on the flank.
Boaster. Oh. Valiant
First, I
attempt.
thought the second was going to line up again, man. It was going to be almost a Draken moment for him.
Yep. I almost believed. I almost believed. I was on board. At 7-5, though, scoreline-wise, it's strange, right? Because my mind goes to the amount of outplays that Dirk has brought in here. He's showing off. But the scoreline isn't drastically one-sided.
No. So to close this out 7-5, I mean, I said it in the first map, really, whatever they were going to be able to muster together, but this is a much better start. And you can tell the tempo just from the first couple of rounds from Liquid. Just looking to bounce back, or at least feeling a lot more confident here on Icebox, but now the real test comes. They're attacking half, whether or not FNATIC are going to try and play this as proactively as we've come to expect.
Dirk trying to get a little postured up, but Liquid just smashing through the more aggressive lean coming out. The beginning. Scream. Yeah, straight on through. He knows it. Lovely timing there from Scream, and they're just going to power forward through this. Yes, Mystic can try and deny at least the aggression from Scream, but the others aren't far away. They can hit the brakes for a second, but Mystic can only deny this for so long, and now that much more favorable position becomes a little dicey. Switches it up, 4 more bullets to play with, makes the most of it. Still finds Yampi, no trade.
And now Liquid, when they got away out this heal, Link down to 35 HP, 10 seconds left on it. You can see it on cooldown. And actually, Doma has stayed on B site. Now, Liquid are going to read this as, yeah, we've shown enough presence here. Surely both of them are here. Doma could be in a deadly spot here. A heal does come through. Link going to get himself topped up once again.
Toxins going up.
It's got to be eyes on Doma,
30
right?
seconds left.
Like, what can he do? They've got 27 seconds. He's going to hear these steps now, call for support, but time, he's got to try and buy it. He's got to take down these players. It's everything he needed to do. And now Cryptics, this is going to just shatter what they were trying to build back here, and he's got to find him fast. The wall he's just going to dip away from. Doma's buying time, a swift dispatching of that, but still, Spike goes down, but look at the timing he's bought. Mystic should be right there, waiting for Cryptics to show his head.
He's got the rope.
The rope, wait, Mystic! He's still in this one, but Cryptics now has the advantage on the angle, and Mystic outdone by Cryptics.
Yeah, Cryptic's coming up here. I mean, it's so awkward for Doma there. He's got the wall. He tries to throw it down to at least isolate one angle and try and survive as long as possible, but Cryptic stands strong and will close that one out, but again, having the presence of mind there to leave Doma on B site. Fantastic stuff from them. And not only that, but to find the first 2 kills as well. Really well played by him. What a great pistol round.
Toxin poison orb emitting.
Scream again. Happy to be first man forward. Doma's just killing people.
Spike
Alright,
down A.
fair enough. Good trade for Yampi, quick. Tries to not let that get too far out of touch. Scream though. Finding it hard to find as much space as he'd like, and these pistols, as much as they shouldn't be an issue. See what they can get with them, Boaster. Yeah, no, not today. They're trying to get cheeky with it, and I don't
Yeah.
even blame them. I quite like it. Like, try and pull something off. You got to take some, you know, riskier fights to try and make those pistols work, but
Out of charges.
nothing so far really beyond that initial trade.
A little more utility invested towards side. Scream spraying wildly through and actually going to bait a peek out of Magnum.
Enemy remaining.
Mystic dealt
Lovely.
with. Durka, last man standing, a frenzy in hand. If we can do any further damage here, we'll find the first actually. Yampy, in his position. A little bit there. Scream low HP as well. You can see him actually does not want to commit to that peak. He dashes away.
Respect being given, and deservedly so. Cryptics to close the book on this round, and we are back at a tied game. 7 apiece for either side now. We have to look at the money coming into this. We will be having the buy coming out from FNATIC, and on the other side it'll be that kind of, not necessarily a pure bonus round, because the 2 rifles going to be joining.
Here.
Really, Cryptic's got the Hunter's Fury online already, but nothing else available at Liquid's disposal right now. Everybody stacked up towards A. Nobody from FNATIC this time around with these weapons. Looking to catch anybody in the early round, but the attack comes through from Cryptics. Actually, I think the distance far enough there. They're not able to close that kill out. Screen will find one though, but Magnum with the nano swarm perfectly placed. Gonna shut him down before he can cause any more problems.
Ampy looking to try and maybe punish some of these rotations if he can thread that needle well enough. Doma could be on the chopping block, but that will take time. FNATIC know that there is still a lot of presence towards A, but you can see those cogs turning internally. Boast already trying to check mid, but by now, Yampy has crossed past this point. This is what Liquid are holding for. See what Yampy can do with this. Positioning. Needs to work, but look at the counterplay.
Yeah.
They've missed each other like ships in the night. You're going to have this mid push now coming out from the other side. You're going to have maybe Doma around the flank, but there it is. Yampy finds one. He even expects the second. Can't quite get it though. But the problem is that Magnum even got a kill on the way in towards the site. So now there's only 2 coming in towards the site itself. This is the rifle round, but what's left is the rifle on Link still.
30 seconds
Cryptic's
left.
only on the SMG, but trying to hold those closer angles. Here's all these steps. Should have heard all these steps. There we go. Finds it on Durka, but was already looking towards the rafters. Doma, one's good. The second evades. And a lovely play back in from Link.
Really good stuff. I think Cryptic's making the most of that Spectre, get himself into a position where, yes, it's a very disciplined check if somebody swings that, especially when, you know, the spike's only just gone down. They haven't necessarily got an awful lot of time to set up in, you know, a really weird spot like that, but makes it work. Link swings perfectly. Find that trade. Liquid will pull ahead, 8-7 now. FNATIC back down on a scrappy purchase. A Spectre, Marshall, a couple of Sheriffs. No Blade Storm from Durka, whether or not they're going to make a play for that orb over on B. Try and get that online as well. Again, Magnum and Mystic trying to creep up early on. Try and make use of these pistols. It's not going to happen.
Again. It should be 9 for Liquid. Unless Mystic does more of this. Where has he just got 2 of those kills from? Screams above, trying to be the turret himself, and this is going to be death from above. Wait, maybe not. Look at the damage he sustained. 28 HP. He's got to back away there, already suffering a little more than he'd like, but it is still a 2v3, and these weapons aren't doing them many favors. Boaster just wants the weapon at this point. Clears close sight. He's going to have to depend on Durka to do just that. He's going to get to halfway. Durka! He can't do any more for the hold! He's not going to stop! Oh! Soulcast has to put his body on the line, flies in there to hold on to the round.
That was so close. That was so close to coming through on the defuse. Oh my word. But FNATIC make them work for it. Only 2 survive, but look at the ult progression here for Liquid. Everything except the Hunter's Fury online. So just keep an eye on that defusal here with Durka living as long as he did. Look how close it was, Lauren.
That's when you're starting to sweat, aren't you? It's like, oh no.
There's somebody made a comment yesterday. It was like, yeah, on land he gets that. On land, that goes through.
100%. I mean, wait till there's crowds. That changes the entire dynamic, doesn't it? Oh, can't wait. I can't wait. Get us to an event. Let's get back to normal. For now, Cryptics trying to deal with the abnormally good performance of Durka this round. Scream's up for the fight. He's feeling brave enough. Doma's there as well, though, for FNATIC, so it's not just one to get past, it will be two.
No damage done. Either way. Actually, with Yampy getting himself pretty deep on A, there you go. He will find that. Just on the back of that contact on B, Magnum actually starts to take a little peek to see what's going on, and he will lose his life for it.
Scream now.
Welcome to my
Actually, hold on. Investment of the ult from Soulcast. This could make things more difficult. Scream just dives on in. Okay, fair enough. I mean, he gets one, but it forces out the res, but now they're back up towards as many bodies as they could possibly get. FNATIC force standing. Spike is down, even with the damage coming through.
There's
And look
so
at the amount of
much
ults.
going on.
Okay, Hypok, you're an analyst caster. Have fun.
There's lockdowns, there's Viper's Pit. Magnus gonna swing, actually find Cryptics down in the corner there. Link actually gonna get Cryptics back on his feet immediately. Only one detained, and that was on the back of Liquid's lockdown. It's just chaos. It's absolute chaos. Still inside the Viper's Pit here. Mystic desperately trying to get something done, but look at it. The utility comes through again.
Oh, there was more
That's
mess
gonna be
on the screen there than
the most expensive
Overwatch.
round ever
Bloody
in
hell.
Valorant.
That was like how many? There was like what?
Look
so
at it. Look
both
at yeah.
Killjoys.
Look at the old cogs. There's
Player standing.
both reses invested, both lockdowns invested. Was both Viper Pit?
I know one Viper Pit went in. I don't know if both did. I think Mystic.
Yeah, Mystic and
still have
Soulcast
his.
used
Oh, he
theirs.
did use his.
And Scream's Blade Storm.
Yeah, and because he dived in at the start. Seems unreasonable, guys. Do you mind? All right. I'm used to like flash, smoke, nade. They're like, nah. Welcome to our world. Doma to find Yampy to start with. That's gonna be a little bit of a gut punch coming out, considering that was a pretty hefty rifle to be taken away early on. Could be filtered through if desired, but already Scream's gonna try and pick up the pace once again, try and take further forward positioning. Doma's gonna be the one to try and handle that. Durka did find Soulcast, so it's on Durka now. He has got some sort of players with him who's boasted, but wait! Durka again, this guy! The immovable object! He's gonna try and play around towards Scream's side. Sits a little deeper on the side. Smoke comes in, allows Boaster to get the attention. He's thinking about it. Do I get closer to this now? Oh, he is gonna be noted here. Not afraid to give away the game, but Scream has enough of this nonsense. Takes the direct fight, and now the 2v2. Magnum trying to get that timing just right. Scream and Cryptics both there. And it's just a 50-50 at this point. As he swing back in, the wall goes down, Scream says hello, and Mystic
you got a
now the
headshot.
1v2. Good damage, and look at the damage done. This becomes a problem for what remains with Liquid. This goes on towards the side, Cryptics could be dead.
And actually, the snake bites perfectly. It forces him off that angle, but Cryptics will land the headshot. Wow. Durka's so unlucky. I'm pretty sure Durka just dislocated his whole arm trying to snap onto Scream hopping up on the box there, but can't get anything else done there. Has to, I guess, ride out the recon bolt, pinging him 3 times. So Cryptics and Scream able to just wait on him trying to make a move. Yeah, look at this.
Oh,
The ponytail, man. It's a Sage main's worst nightmare. It's always that, sticking over the top of something.
update when, Raito, please.
Well, it was like with Sova's capes. You
I
remember
know,
that?
Sova's cape, man, just whipping around corners like, well,
You couldn't jiggle peek anything.
nah. Oh, bit of a trade out and a half there. Soulcast does keep his life. Mystic takes a bit of a beating too, down to 1 HP now. Coming back off in Yampy though, just perfect connection to catch Boaster trying to get that information in middle. Scream carefully backing away as they do begin that lean towards A.
Take flight.
It's only Durka. This boost we've seen before on top of the wall. Scream drops. Now, does he challenge this solo? He actually does. Yeah, Durka gonna miss that one. Soulcast trying to swing on the same angle, but Durka has to give this up now. We'll play the headshot angle as well, and we'll find Cryptics up on belt. There's a consolation at least.
Rinse and repeat, the same old story of Durka now. Having the rest of Liquid slowly encroaching, Scream being the first man forward. The pre-fire is fantastic, almost gets Doma. Magnum on the way around towards Heaven to join Durka here, but the spike will be planted. No denial on that. Scream outdone, though. The swing from Dome is good. Bit of a Ferrari peek on it, but Link bails him out with the 2 quick kills. And now Durka tries to wait patiently, and Soulcast takes his life. We do see the stabilization of Liquid here, getting towards 12. And again, this is no best of 3, this is best of 5. And at 1-1, this is where it goes, you know, we're going to start having long, serious conversations on our hands. So don't get overly excited just yet. This is a marathon in front of us. So at this point, Liquid going to keep themselves building, though, in the right direction here.
Placing sentry.
FNATIC will get a purchase back for this. Magnum no armor, though. Boaster with the Hunter's Fury, the only ultimate available for FNATIC.
Get out of my way!
And immediately, actually, Scream going to pop the Bladestorm, finds Doma within the first 3 seconds of the round. And Yampy swings on it. Durka falls. 5v3 very early long for Liquid. Make it a 5v2. They want to close this out now. They want to reset. Go next. Mystic going to find Soulcast, but Scream already on the hunt, and look at that.
What a dream.
Hey,
What a
talk
dream.
about getting stomped and it not affecting your confidence. They bounce back here. Liquid looking very comfortable on Icebox.
Yeah, they do, and the players looked exceeding.
Not gonna say 100% we're gonna see him on the Phoenix, but most likely we will be seeing him on the Phoenix. But of course, FNATIC here have also been playing the Viper, which they have just locked in there as well, Jonas.
Yeah, absolutely. And Viper is not something we see a lot on Ascent, but of course, Fnatic being one of the first teams to play it, and especially with how good Viper is now, it is definitely, a Viper is just one of those agents that if your team plays around.
Push on this map. That would be an upset and a half. Liquid have been exceedingly dominant here, and Liquid will be starting on the defensive side, and Fnatic looking like they want to kick things off, leaning towards B with a bit of a 3-2 split.
It's FNATIC looking to, and pretty quick actually. Yeah, going to smoke off the turret and get the door closed as well to mark it, and maybe play this a little bit more aggressively. Scream got a lot of pressure though. Magnum eventually will deal with him. Does get a kill to open things up.
Yeah, for now, beyond that Omen lurk, yeah, it's Mystic. Look at that. Beautiful work. Soulcast can't trade out more than that. Leaving Yampy very, very isolated. Link's a mile away, but they don't check on him. No way! Yampy gets away with daylight robbery. 2 huge kill pickups. And now Boaster left in the 1v2, feeling a little rough around this. He does not know where Link is. He's been unaccounted for. Now, Boaster just has to make a mad guess. And well, so far, he's guessed quite nicely. But does he go A or does he hit the brakes and see if he can catch that rotation? No, he is going all the way around towards A here.
Did retrieve a Frenzy as well. All the way in mid, so we'll get a clean plant here. No utility left, but the Recon Bolt obviously back off cooldown. We'll get a clean plant now. Yampy at 97, Link at 100 HP. Both with a little armor left as well, and they're going to stack up. Going to be really difficult for both. He's got to catch one of them here.
He has to. Gonna hear the steps. The timing's everything on this. You could see the consideration on the push here. Gonna try and get that flank around the world. We go Hypoc. The plant's in the open as well. This isn't bad, but the timing's gonna be everything on this. He has to play this perfectly. And step by step, they close in, none the wiser, expecting the traditional post-plant positioning from Boaster, but no, he bides his time. Link's sitting this, though. He has to try and deny it. Gotta get in there. No more time left to mess around. They got it to halfway, but Yampy, the savior of Liquid in this round alone.
Yeah, and I mean, his hand is forced there. The worst thing possible is that they smoke off and try and stick down, which is exactly what they do. He has to hop off and give away an audio cue. Can only find the one. What a round. Yeah, I mean, initially the hold was great, and you're right, Yampy just going completely unchecked. Almost picks up all 3 here. The fact that Boaster actually escapes here with the spike as well, manages to slip all the way into spawn. Good try from him nonetheless, but Yampy will close things out.
Now we do see Sheriff's coming out, though, on the other side here for Fnatic. 3, Frenzy and the Classic. And on the other side, a very reserved investment. Spectres. All the utility, all the goodies that go alongside it, but still plenty of chance of threat here. We have to see if there's any danger going to come through. We see the aggression being shown by Yampy a little. Already starting to explore on the other side of the map, take some territory. Scream gonna be on red alert, and lovely aim. The man looks unfazed by this flash out as well. Goes for a little info peek, but it's Yampy. And there's that timing we were talking about, that aggression we were talking about. It works well. Mystic against immeasurable odds going to be found, and a comfortable, clean round for Team Liquid.
Yep, 4 survive, 4 weapons carried through as well. No armor repurchase required either, so a really good opportunity to ride this out, get a really comfortable bonus going.
One enemy remaining.
See, really, again, early on, difficult to really say how, but with Yampy doing things like that, as soon as obviously some presence is shown in mid, he's able to walk through for free and pick up Boaster from behind. He will actually, yeah, Yampy riding the Sheriff through this, and it's looking like an NA setup here on A main, Lauren.
Just a little bit.
A little bit, yeah? I've seen that before.
I have definitely been watching my NA games, you know. Durka, though, carrying on forward. The crossfire is in place. Link on one side, Scream on the other. Durka does dive on through, but there it is. Great work. Manages to find a clean fight on Link. No trade available for Scream, but he does find Boaster in the back lines. Swings for more on the left, but Durka outdoes, and now the site's theirs.
Numbers as well. Soulcast has managed to slip through, though. Can he catch one? No. Will actually get traded out. Does find Magnum, though. Cryptix as well creeps his way through. All 3 members of FNATIC stacked into hell. Cryptix actually gives away the info with a step. They line up, though. A lot of damage done. Doma and Mystic down to 47 and 62, but able to trade down. FNATIC will get back on the board, but a decent bonus. 3 kills for Liquid. Scream, obviously, getting his ultimate online, and Yampy as well, I think I just saw. Again, the early objectives
Spike down A.
do lean in Liquid's favor, at least.
I have to just once again highlight Durka in that round. The value of those entries. Isolating Link, able to convert then towards Scream, turning that into 2 individual 1v1s was fantastic.
Yeah. And Durka's got his Bladestorm online here, so he can ride this through with, obviously, the kills going in favor of Liquid in the previous round. Also going to get the tag. I'd see the... Says Fury going to get popped, but Yampy going to float away to safety. Link actually goes unchecked all the way in the corner of heaven. We'll find Durka as he tries to close that distance.
Already though, Scream gonna just try and put his body on the line. Doesn't quite get as much as he'd want, I imagine, from that. Yampy now going to take on over. Viper ultimate now comes down. Trade out on the site. Down to a 4v3, but the spike is going down as we speak. Boaster puts it into place, and Doma did find Yampy, so that's taken out the op from this, one of the most aggressive players. Cryptix next to try and test this, but they're living in that Viper ult. They don't need to leave. They'll do just fine. Soulcast clears Doma, though. And now things are getting a little bit sketchier. Boaster trying to make it count, but he can't make it connect as well as he'd like. And now Mystic left in the 1v3. Spike's near him. He does get one good work. Tries to readjust, dip away into that smoke, fade away unnoted. And Mystic keeping his head down, pinging out the spike. The teammates letting him know where it's at. Sitting this right now, another victim added. As Mystic almost gets all 3, but Scream says no. And the defuse should come in.
Really, really well played by Mystic there. Again, working the Viper's bit perfectly. Again, Yampy keen to get down from heaven on that retake. See him just full-on challenge Doma, who was the only member, I think, outside of the Viper's pit. Yeah, plays this perfectly. As soon as he hears that drop from Cryptix. All good. Able to isolate that kill, but Scream comes through with a trade. Actually, a reasonable distance inside that ult as well, so fair play to him for picking that one up.
Yampy back on the op, though. Seen this become quite commonplace. Scream going to be on short, however. Yampy more patrolling towards middle. Scream being forced away, having to go through the motions, as FNATIC will be using all that good utility, Magnum's full kit to just clear off short, keep the op, and anyone trying to be aggressive away from those kind of, I guess, brave peaks that can come out. Durka just going to soak some damage off of that one, takes a fair crack of it, down to 42.
As Magnum has managed to slip through this gap, actually with Scream falling away. I'm not entirely sure, but Scream still comes out on top, but Doma stacked up will find the trade.
Okay, I guess that's somewhat handled that problem. And I say somewhat really lightly because there's definitely
so
a
much pressure
vulnerability here. Yeah, Link is in a world of trouble. The rotations are cut off. There is no help coming anytime soon. Link is going to be called upon to be the saving grace of this side. Yampy's trying to get back to him, Soulcast too, but they are super close to this. Expect the swing in heaven, and Link can't deal with it. There's too many bodies on the site. Doma can back away now. They do allow a little bit more freedom for Liquid to play back in, but the spike going to go down. No, denied.
They'll go down to 2 HP as well, so FNATIC just have to hold tight for the time being. Plant will go through now. Yampy, look for him to try and make something happen. Durka will fall. We know he was low HP, but look at this just outside the smoke. Doma lurking, waiting for Yampy to show his face. Gotta deal with this kill here.
Oh, the 50-50. He goes for it, and he just committed towards tree side, but Doma waited so patiently. In we go, Soulcast lives on down. Does find Mystic, actually, and now Boast is in trouble. No, still fine. Back to the wall. Boaster somehow keeps his cool and gets it back on the board for FNATIC.
Really well played down. Actually, Lockdown invested fairly late on into that retake, and in a weird spot. I guess they were able to see exactly where that one was placed from the other side of the wall because it's dealt with immediately. FNATIC will put their second on the board now. Liquid, economy-wise, I mean, looking like Scream wants to make something happen here. Let's swap back out to the Guardian. Plus Sheriff's and a shorty on the side of Cryptics as well. Straight away, the Guardian's off the board.
Imagine there's a world where Durka loses that fight, potentially. Depression. Spain without the S. Not to be, though. And there's the information. Going to be relayed through. No massive stacks or anything that's kind of, you know, potentially made to catch them off guard. More of a standard 2-2 remaining.
Is FNATIC going to slow things down a little bit, try and get some control here. At least figure out where the remainders of Liquid are. What? Durka just actually managed to get the kill onto Soulcast on lane through the wall there. I guess on the back of that tag. Cryptic's now with the short. He's got to try and close the distance. A lot of damage done to Magnum, but not going to find the kill. Yampy over the top. Just burst through with a Guardian just to try and find a kill, and he will do. But not going to matter too much. There is Magnum as well, who already had taken some damage.
I don't know if you're going to be able to get any of these guns away. Durka's on the case. Yeah, got him. Caught him as soon as he was going to step on through. And FNATIC's stabilizing now. We have to kind of talk about this because, again, Liquid do hold a very resounding record on this map. It's something that's seemingly stuck with them with this roster and kind of carried on being one of their strongholds as a team. But FNATIC don't seem as though they're going down without a fight here. They are keeping quite close in this.
Last player standing.
How's that from Yampy? It just makes me think back, whatever series it was. It the previous Liquid FNATIC one where he was just like dashing in, just every single round. Look at A lobby. Where's this time? There's that Molly once again, gonna chew away Doma's HP down to 64 already in the early round. Know what VOD Sliggy's been watching.
Man does his homework. And Yampy just wants information. He just wants that little extra step, but stays his nerves. Doesn't overpeak, doesn't overplay it, falls away. This does look like an eventual mid-piece towards B, at least where the spike currently resides. Durka starting to clear very slowly, but there's a lot of utility in their way. Of course, Killjoy is still very present here.
Doma actually sticks the DP and Cryptics is there waiting. The reinforcements come through. Boaster falls elsewhere as well. He's all the way over in mid now, and Soulcast nearly loses his life. Magnum actually looking like he's going to try and convert this kill. Inside, and actually Soulcast comes out on top of it. A little overzealous. Cryptics lands a headshot as well. Mystic will respond, but last man standing now in a 1v4. Not much longer for this
today.
world.
Yeah, not today. Liquid that time able to kind of manage very well. The initial kind of grab towards that pressure towards A, you saw the damage going on through. They seemed all too prepared for that.
Indeed, it's things like Boaster getting picked off here in mid as well by... Again, Liquid just leaving kind of contingencies across the map, even if this comes through. It relies a lot on Cryptics, but they deal with these other threats.
Scanning ahead.
Early A lobby control kind of out of the question, something that Liquid have kind of put quite high on the priority list. Mid take seems to be maybe a response that FNATIC are toying with the idea of here. So Soulcast gonna have to do his work, as Durka is already gaining that mid control.
Yeah, it's being... I mean, he's got reinforcements here. He does have Doma stacked up behind him. Really more of a fact-finding mission here with Liquid playing so deep. They don't want to give away this information. Actually, a paranoia sent through from mid as well. Does catch screen, but he's going to escape around the safety of that Viper wall. Oh, there's 3 bodies here for Liquid on site.
Yeah, a bit of a burst, but I like this work from Durka, but he's only going to find Link for now. No, double down, make it scream. Now, the problem is FNATIC now have garnered the site. They need Yampy to find some control on short, and he does by picking off Boaster. Where is that spike? It is not in a good position. That is a huge problem. FNATIC now having to put so much in just to try and get this back. Yampy is watching this cross, but look at the Omen's position. Look at Doma here. He has garnered so much control. Yampy finds Mystic, but Durka's on the run. He needs to get towards B right here, right now. Time. He's got 12 seconds to get towards this site. He cannot be slowed down. He cannot be stopped. Gets on in. Spike to be planted. Is on Doma now to keep him safe. No quick plays back in, though, from Liquid, as now they have to mount the perfect playback. Did Cryptics catch a glimpse of
I
Doma
think he
there?
might have done. Oh, Durka! He hops up on lane. We'll find Soulcast in B. Look at that.
Dear.
Now Cryptics' position's revealed. They're about to win this. Numbers against some Yampy, operator in hand.
This does feel like one of those weird Yampy rounds, though. Not going to check the back. No. Durka and
beautiful.
Doma. That combination, Hypok. Talk me through it there.
I mean, just the anticipation there from Durka. Cryptics tucks in. He's done absolutely the right thing to wait. Wait for somebody from FNATIC to give something away, but Durka almost forces his hand by finding that pick onto Soulcast in B main. So well played. And on the back of that kill, Doma then just he knows that Cryptics is gonna be like, what the hell just happened? I have to peek. I have to try and trade that out. Doma just finds the freest kill onto him, and then the last man standing is Yampy with the operator. So difficult to then recover that position with that weapon.
Standing ahead.
Ultimate popped. To be Yampy. Seeing this 3-play stack towards A. A lot of attention towards that A lobby control. And Durka on mid duty again, trying to thread that needle, keep that pressure map wide.
Come on, let's go!
Scream. Ult comes out, needs to go for a run, see as much as he can do, and this is going to now work well with Yampy. Yampy did play up short at the same time, so forcing FNATIC further forward, almost into the arms of Yampy himself. FNATIC now need to respond in kind themselves. Push up, get the job done, but Soulcast catching the cross, but only good for one. Durka breaks back in. Trades have been good for this man, but Cryptics now trying to play the site so well. Tries to keep his cool here, finds one, isolates Durka, gets the second. Cryptics, huge catch on the side, and Yampy makes it in time. Beautiful play from Liquid.
Cryptics plays his life so effectively though. He's got all of his utilities set for lane, so he knows that all he has to do is worry about stairs. He knows that nobody can swing for free here. First kill comes on Durka, the second comes through. You can see here the Nano Storm just forces Mystic back into the waiting arms of Yampy with the Blade Storm.
Right here. Right here.
Good little combination there, wasn't it? Quite tasty. Now, money-wise, though, I'm looking at FNATIC. Boaster a little in the bin with his buy, and Mystic not far off it either. You see what they do on a little bit of a lower-ish buy. Durka going to lean forward. We've seen this damage before. This is a constant element that Liquid like to do, is this, again, a lobby control that they run on a regular basis. Durka's nice amount of HP. Going to be worked in towards A. See if you can get a quick pick, and They're trying to work off the back of that tag, but Scream once on the swing, but too many targets, too many opportunities, and Yampi now noted already, spotted out. The tag came in, but he's actually going to sit back towards the same position. He's still in here. He's going to be found. No, he actually gets away with his life. I do not know how this man is still standing. And he's got support. Soulcast from up above finds Magnum. Can't quite get beyond Doma, though. Soulcast can. And now down to the 2v2. This is not over yet.
Be able to survive for so long there. Help us Mystic and Boaster in a 2v2 situation. Both now with weapons. Cryptix does have the lockdown available. We know he invested it previously, but with the Viper Spit, it's going to make it very difficult for Cryptix to get some control back onto short here. Turret going to give away Mystic's position and the alarm bot for good measure. And yeah, lockdown invested here.
Two players doubled up on short, though. They're both ready for this. Soulcast on the other side as well. Cryptix. Wait, Mystic.
What? Did they both just sit in it? Did they take other damage? I mean, the decay's coming through anyway, but... again, lockdown's invested. He's sat waiting with both snake bites, and it only takes one. You see here, yeah, look,
1
down
HP.
to 1 HP.
Player standing.
One step, boom. Oh dear, the combination of that. Oh. 5-5.
Actually looking messy purchase here. 2 Spectres. Oh no, sorry, actually, my mistake. Scream actually does have a Phantom, but Link on the Spectre. And be back on that operator. How's I'm going to come through? Either way, I guess at least Link's position there because of the paranoia. And then again, yeah, does have to deal with the recon bolt, but Scream going to land some damage onto Durka through the smoke. Going to keep them honest for the time being. Outside A main. FNATIC going to drift away. Like, actually, they want to try and get a really good grip on this mid control here. Yampi stuck behind this trap wire, though. He can't go exploring. He wants to.
Just like jaws being held back by like a fish, like, you know, little net. Like tiny little string keeping him at bay. As pressure on short's going to build. Soulcast is trying to get the attention to allow Scream to swing, but actually Scream gets outdone. Beautiful take from FNATIC. I have no idea how they just won that out so cleanly. And now they get the site all to themselves. Plant's going to come in. Everything's gone perfect.
He's got the timing and the position on this as well. He's going to hear Yampi hopping up to short.
Last player standing.
There you go, yeah. Finally. Deals with him. Cryptic's the last man standing. Finds himself in a 1v4, and FNATIC have an absolute death grip on the A site in the post plant. Utility set up as well. Not an awful lot for him to do here. You can find a consolation, but look how deep FNATIC are playing this. There you go. Snakebite comes through, yeah. They don't need to risk anything.
Post plants. They don't need to. They're chilling. Look at this. I mean, this is going to be the new thing going forward, right? Like, I was watching... Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
What rounds theirs anyway. But I was watching a little bit of NA, and some of these post plants coming out from these players. It's the same with FNATIC though. It's like if they get into a post plant with Viper still up, you know, with Sova still around, good luck. Let alone when you add in like Astra to this new meta of post plant era. Ooh, ooh. I don't envy these teams right now.
Was that in the last round? Again, with that purchase in the previous. I don't know what kind of locker room chat went down today, but 3 judges once again here leaning heavily on that weapon today. Cryptix does have himself a Vandal Scream on the Frenzy, but no ultimates available for them. Urka and Boaster one away. Soulcast actually early on going to show exactly what he's got packing in B main and get revealed as well, but he's already found I mean, more than enough for that. 1 kill's enough in my eyes.
Such a nuisance. This round's horrible. Nothing about this feels good. Soulcast is still here. Boaster's found Scream. No! Tries to run away, gets caught in the heels. Oh no. The judge removed from 1 player at least, and we have 2 more on the board with Link and Yampi.
Well, Link actually just upgraded at top mid there. Did get his hands onto a Vandal. We know Cryptic's still got one as well. Magnum anticipating. I mean, all of FNATIC actually anticipating that Liquid are going to push down and try and convert on this early damage in B main at least. 30 seconds left on the clock. FNATIC, not an awful lot of time to reset off this, so it's looking like they're going to have to commit to B.
I have the spike. Shadows
Cryptic's,
traveling.
that rifle
Shadows traveling.
might sting here. Link's got himself 1-2. Let's see where they're going to take this. Uh-oh. Yampy says, nope. Not right now. You're going to head right on in towards Cryptic's at the back towards the site. This is great work from Cryptic's. Waited so patiently, and somehow they convert this round.
Again, it comes down to a round where Cryptic's is he just sits there,
Switching sides.
plays off his utility perfectly, and actually Liquid lean a little further away from B for that reason exactly. Again, with the time diminishing, FNATIC's hand is forced, and they don't have the time to make this disciplined clearance through all these close angles. They just have to commit to running down lane on top of that alarm bot. Really well played again from Cryptic's on B site.
6-6. So again, context for those tuning in. This has been probably the strongest Liquid map across the board, right? I'd say this has been one of their best to lean into. And right now, FNATIC are pushing them. Now, be it off the back of a lot of great work from Durka earlier on, lots of entries, lots of power coming in towards that A site take. We saw it several times. But at this point, beyond that, I want to see how they fare now they have the side switch. I want to see if they look just as diligent on this side around. Liquid, we know they're very capable, especially off the back of what Scream can do with that utility that we've highlighted and, you know, the desk highlighted coming into it now.
And previously, Liquid did actually go 9-3 on their defensive half. So, in terms of FNATIC, this is a big win, really, to get a tie game at half-time. So Mystic's still going to hold on to that. What?
Was Mystic jump spotting at the back of sight to allow the swing to go? Oh, that was such a nice little setup. These are the little kind of like synergy pieces that FNATIC run that are gorgeous work. Durka, though, under pressure. How does he do that?
Spike down.
How does he get away with that?
I have no words. He still has the cloudburst in hand when the first player swings through. That is absolutely... Look at that. Link's fully out of the first smoke, and he still gets the better of him. That's insane from Durka.
Ooh. 7-6. I think it's a fair assumption to see it go to 8-6. Quite the purchase, actually, for Liquid. We do have the Marshal out with the Sheriffs.
Oh, Judge. Interesting. Only really a spike and a trap wire to hold on to a side. And there you go, actually. Scream gonna hear the sound cue on that one, but 2 players stacked up in tree. Feel like they're gonna at least give up entry and play retake. Yampy's gonna dash on, try and clear some of these angles. He's not gonna find anybody on site though.
Durka up towards heaven on this. Gonna hear Stop it, Durka. Just leave him alone. Let him have a shot at this. Magnum's just spraying away at that cross. Gonna find Cryptic's. No problem there. You're down to Scream, Link, and Soulcast. Link gonna be working up from Cat towards Doma and Magnum. Tag, but no frag. And they fall away back towards middle.
I guess who's just been jump spotting the entire time on B?
30 seconds left.
There he is. There's the little hoppy boy at the back of sight. It's such a good idea though. Okay, Bosa's got contact. I want to see what he does with this. Mid becomes a little bit scary, so he has to fall away carefully. Time. 10 seconds. That's all they've got to play with now.
10
and they've got utility still left. 8 seconds. I think they're out of time on this, honestly. Bosa can put his body on the line. Mystic can play his life, try and deny that spike plant. But now there's a problem. Now Link finding Bosa's an issue. Mystic's low HP. Hold the phone. Bit of a drive-by on one, but they do take over the back of sight now. Post-bomb begins, and Doma's having none of this. Touches the spike for a second, forces the fight. And FNATIC stabilize after a little bit of danger began to mount.
I'm not sure if Mystic had used his snake bites preemptively in that round. I mean, it's almost the perfect scenario, right? Just throw one down on the stairs there and lambs to the slaughter almost. But again, with Yampy clearing all this space solo, nobody really there to help him out in the front line. I guess that's because Scream has the Marshal. He wants to try and play anchor for Yampy to make that move. Durka picks up another freebie with the Ghost. Let's see. Because he's able to ride that out, does have the operator here, but again, limited by elsewhere, and that's because Durka's going to have the Bladestorm on in the next round. So if, for example, they lose this, they can still get a purchase together. Durka obviously will die, receive one ult or before that, and have the Bladestorm available. So while we're seeing Doma down on the Sheriff and 3 Spectres elsewhere.
Slow build towards A, at least to start with. If you are just tuning in, wondering what this game is, it is the grand finals here, but both the teams, of course, are now qualified to get to Reykjavik. I'll be taking on the rest of the world soon, but before there we get to celebrate the best of the region, as Yampy going to lead the way forward. Past all the Owl drones trying to catch Magnum out, but you don't get to. Yampy has to deliver the bullet to the brain, even though the tag did come back in. But the double down from Cryptix is great. Finds Doma, and now you can see the problem starting to build. Both trying to get some chip damage done, but I don't think he got as much out of that as I thought.
Spike planted.
That's not bad.
Yeah. Decent damage onto Link with the second, though, you're right. Yampy 40-ish HP coming up and down with that wall, but trying to hold on to control of Heaven. Soulcast still the way over in A main, so again, Yampy can afford to just sit like this. Down to just Boaster and Mystic on FNATIC here. They'll work their way back in.
Save. Yeah. Mystic's out of that. He wants to keep that.
Boaster wants to do a little damage on the way out, but he's going to miss Link on the cross. Maybe catch Yampy? No.
Player standing.
No, Yampy will best him there, and Mystic did actually reset with the operator. Didn't catch that. Yeah, just pissed her out whilst he was running, so... See, making it feasible to get a purchase together.
Screen down.
Close game, Hypoc. Very, very close game. 8-7 now. I still don't know how to really split this, if I'm honest, because I kind of thought Liquid across the board would look a little stronger, but some of the... It's those small set pieces that I keep seeing from FNATIC that I absolutely love. The little jump spot, excuse me, on the back of the site is great with this, swing and Aldrone off the back of Sova. Just, again, small bits and pieces they bring out just to keep certain parts of the map a little bit safer, a little bit of a more unique hold. I really love it. Now, on the other side, though, for Liquid, we haven't quite seen that brute force yet from, your Scream and Yampy show, but if it does start, this would be the time. There's the flash from Scream. Durka's still going to re-aggress towards the angle with that op, watching towards the top side, which would be Scream. And I think that's Yampy down below, already starting to build up here. Now, timing's a factor. And Scream gets him, that's big, that's Durka down, that's the op now removed as well. So that's a bit of a loss here. Still a player tucked towards back of sight though. Magnum now called upon to try and maybe keep some space on the side. Doma wants to play through from short. Whether he steps further forward though, yeah, that wall goes down, he's in trouble. Cryptix with a quick 2, joined in by Scream, will now control the site.
It's the same thing, and this is the thing I know Tom mentioned it as well. I mentioned it before this match started, but that wall alone created so many problems for Oxygen with these A-site executes from Liquid. And again, that just shows it's so difficult to position to... There's so many different angles created just off the back of that one piece of utility. I mean, Doma throws the paranoia into that, and it's almost completely negated by the fact that they can just sit behind that for another couple of seconds, wait it out, and nobody wants to force their way through the wall and challenge to try and follow up on that. But I mean, the counter to that is set up close, and what happens? Durka just gets removed off the board immediately in that round. Like, the one counter is to set up close enough so that they can't get into a position to use that wall.
Yeah, this is the aggression off the back. Look at these two! This is fantastic stuff between the both of them. Now, an early attempt at that. Now, last time around, rolling mine back to Icebox, for example. There was a great read from Durka towards Yampy. This time Yampy's still alive, though, and Durka actually getting away with only 30 HP.
Right here.
Actually, Soulcast pinging out. Just saw that, pinging out Mystic's jump spot position. He does have the Hunter's Fury as well, potentially to force him off that, but running back, gonna get popped.
Omen utility specifically for that position. You can see it being... Wait. Okay, Mystic's still here. Mystic's still here. It didn't get cleaned out perfectly. And now there's a bit of a problem. Now keep in mind the weaponry is lighter for FNATIC. They don't have all the goodies, and Scream's got his gun. Soulcast has the ult, and it looks like Liquid should have this round.
So well played. And again, the wall from Scream just cuts off so many angles. It almost funnels FNATIC into just awkward spots where they're able to clear them out with relative ease, to be honest. Mystic, I mean, deals with to run it back. He has to eventually shut it down so that Scream can't get onto back sight, but another really, really clean execution from Liquid, and Soulcast again with the Hunter's Fury, clearing out some of those angles. And you mentioned it as well, Link, throwing the paranoia through, knowing exactly where they're going to position to try and hold on to B.
Let us hunt.
Pops out on either side. Yampy trying to get that control build towards middle. Bit of a switch up in position here. We are seeing Magnum this time over towards his side. You can see as to why. A little bit of an adaptation on the older play rather than it being the Sova. I guess, you know, if it works, it works. Didn't quite do as much as I had expected, and Liquid reaggressing now to try and take that B lobby control.
He's back there again. Get a tag on the spy cam, tried to follow up with some damage, but nothing actually going through, and Liquid will peel away. Wait. You never really expect a Jet to be dashing in like this with an operator. Right, yeah, sure, Blade Store or a rifle, but Yampy just dashes over mid towards Pizza.
Yampy different. Alright. He truly be something else. I mean, he is the madman right now. I don't doubt it. He does too well for me to truly critique it. Cryptic's, though, gonna invest the ultimate to clear out the site. There is still, of course, the player at the back of the site, which will be Durka. Now, he is actually fine. Yeah, able to get away with this. Yampy did find Boaster in towards middle, if I'm not mistaken, trying to catch that cross, but now there's problems further afield. Liquid have taken the site for now, and Yampy's going to make it difficult for the reinforcements to get over here. Switching out to the Sheriff. Mystic. What is going on? What was that, Hypok?
I mean, Mystic switching back and forth to the knife to try and jump spot that, but still a 1-for-1 trade. Magnum with the spray down. Durka down to 6 HP as well. It's going to make it really difficult to get back up. Oh no.
Someone check him PC. Please, someone check him PC. Imagine. You know they're going to watch this game back and you're sat there just sweating. Durka did find one. Soulcast! Sat at the back. Still does it all. And somehow Liquid are actually doing all right here. That was one of those weird rounds again. We've had so many of these. Weird wall bangs, some strange shots down middle, and then the shutdown by Soulcast.
Just look at this. It's literally like... just draws a figure of 8 round all of hell with the Ode and eventually finds it. But this as well. Durka swinging with 6 HP to find the no scope in hell.
Get out of my way.
Oh, Yampy, he's off. The old Beyblade just letting it rip. Away he goes. Towards the site, takes control. That's all theirs. No one can stop that. This should be 11 on the board considering a lower end buy. Yes, they do have their ults, but whether or not you want to go for that here, just try and fight it back from 11. Yampy's just going to have a nice time to play with this.
Mystic will respond. Finds well, Magnum actually just misses back a screen there. Also, Soulcast out in wine as well. Going to make it really difficult for Magnum to get anything done, and actually will get cleaned up. Boast, don't do it. Don't knife the door, man.
One enemy remaining.
And a nano swarm kill for good measure. Why not?
But of course.
Does he find any exits? He's good for one, I think.
Nah. Ooh. There you go. You had faith. No. Yes. Don't. No. We don't take those.
Liquid will get to 11 rounds here. A 3-round deficit for FNATIC to claw back into this. Durka back on the operator. Everything online for them ultimate-wise except for the Blade Storm. So the flip side, I mean, that quick hit came out because of the situation on the other side of the coin, which is Liquid did burn up a lot previously, and the closest being Scream once again to the run it back. I think that's probably one you can bet on him getting that online in this round.
Yeah. Pretty good for one. But again, timeout here was just called in by, I believe, FNATIC. So trying to maybe get a grip on this game before it gets to that almost impossible round. If Team Liquid gets 12, I don't think you get to pull those comebacks because there may be just a Scream, a Yampy, a Cryptix, any of them rounds. Scream, though, unable to get his way this time as the ultimate is going to be invested. Yampy.
Fishing again.
Ooh, that is making me nervous. Durka, though, going to try and take some space back towards middle. This is quite a forward-leaning hold actually coming out, so Durka's going to be put onto it. Yampy going to get across. Yeah, Durka has to fall off that.
And actually with a little bit of a bait there on the back. But Magnum actually swings all the way out. He's going to find Soulcast from behind. Great response from FNATIC there to isolate a kill in mid, and actually Liquid forced to try and make something work on A, but there's already bodies over here.
You said it. We're not surprised when the ult comes online, but Scream going to try and lean forward, tries to open up for the trade, but Doma denies. Big double kill comes in. Link and Cryptix go down, and Boaster.
Beautiful.
Huge shutdown. That was a gorgeous play.
Actually, that's literally on the back of Magnum swinging out. He sees Soulcast trying to pull away. The call comes through. Straight away, FNATIC set up on A site, and I mean, the only thing invested here was the Viper Spit over on B, so they're going to hold on to all of this ultimate progression.
30 seconds left.
MP in a 1v5. A couple of players low HP, but 20 seconds left. He's going to have to start tapping them out. Nope. Really, really clean round from FNATIC there. It's actually, again, the bait to spot out Durka mid, and the fact that he's able to escape. I think it was like 60 HP or something. But the response is perfect. As soon as that happens, Magnum's already creeping and he knows that he can push through. Because Liquid are desperate to try and find that opener in mid, and it being Durka as well.
All right, 9 to 11 now. The build comes back in from FNATIC, but they need to find consistency. They have to continue to do this. Baiting the audio cues, potentially to keep players attentive towards the A site. You can see the rotation being drawn out by at least Boaster here, maybe even Durka sitting a little bit deeper just in case he has to hit that rotate. And a play up from short, it looks like.
Yeah, I was going to say, Link was about to walk, whether or not he's going to smoke that cross off or not, but... Oh no, Yampy dashes in under the cover of the Cloudburst, catches Boaster inside the Owl Drone. It's going to be first blood Liquid. Doma under a lot of pressure right now.
Yeah, Yampy on the back of side already. Doma's just being sprayed away at. Yep. It's all his. Durka, though, is going to be up still towards heaven. Doesn't actually catch one on the way down towards the push through. Yampy just flies up there, fully blind, by the way. But luckily, Scream's got his back, so all said and done, Magnum a mile away from this. This looks like 12 will be achieved. Team Liquid going to get towards 12 here. And that will be sitting towards the 2-1 scoreline. And look, any other day of the week, yeah, that would be a GG. But no, we get to play the best of 5. So this now goes the distance, at least towards the next. Which is always going to be fun to see these guys have a good old game of it. I think both of us are thoroughly enjoying what we've seen so far.
Sure, Liquid kind of hitting that groove, that rhythm that we were sort of expecting towards the first half, but wasn't really that apparent. I mean, both teams respectively, you know, winning out majority-wise in the previous showing on this map on defense. Actually, Durka with a quick piece out. Going to try and find one, but the turret's going to cause so many problems. Cryptics, they would just wait out the paranoia there. First blood in favor of Liquid once again. Doma spotted on the cross to Wine as well.
Well, so far not so good. A little rough around the edges, and Boaster feeling pretty pressured already. The ultimate's going to come back in towards him. That's going to be him dead. Great work from Soulcast. Then the play from Yampy in middle. Sharp as anything. Mystic. Let me tell you the story of the 1v4. Hypok. Mystic, right? He was up towards heaven, right? Now it starts in a mad one. It wasn't this time, it was the next time around. But for now, Link shuts it down. Liquid maintain their formidable record on this map. We've always called this a stronghold for them. Kind of no matter the roster that they came in with, but especially now they look...
They can take the grand final, and we won't be seeing a split, as I said, into Agent Select now, and Team Liquid have locked in the comp. Jonas, so they said that they took inspiration from FNATIC.
Yeah, I mean, one thing you can see straight away here is what I mentioned earlier, how one of the ways of countering all this smoke and wall utility is to play flashes. And see, they're playing double flashers here, so they're probably gonna play...
Best map because it's not been the same team that showed up on maps 2 and 3, that's for sure. We're getting into things now, and interesting point is just around the Sova pick here, and again, it leans very heavily back onto Scream and Yampy to be this dominant front line for Liquid. To counter that with, I guess you could say, the lack of information or sort of misbalance here, as FNATIC start off very, very slow. It's just trying to get a read on the setup here from Liquid. It's a 3-man stack, actually, on a site, and all 5 members of FNATIC.
Oh, the counter utility. Hypok, it's so good.
Perfection.
That was brilliantly timed. However, Doma does get Scream while this happened, but this counter is perfect. The time being bought is exceptional. Reinvestment of utility for these smokes to go down to allow the site take to come in. Looks like the spike will be planted. Liquid are not far away from this zone. Once those smokes dissipate, you will have the counter piece. And it looks like Yampy wants to go exploring early. Going to be forced further ahead by that Molotov. And Boaster's found Link in the meantime. This is looking very, very good for FNATIC. And we said it before, once these post plants begin, you're going to be in trouble. This composition just thrives in this environment, as Soulcast now left in a world of trouble. A 1v4 presented, flashed up, pushed out. Position known. There's not much more that he can feasibly achieve here. I think he knows that. Trying to do what he can on the way out, see if he can grab a couple players with him, but the wall holds, sees Doma, and dies to Doma. A great start for FNATIC.
There we go. And again, on point with the utility to shut down this push, but Scream maybe a little overzealous, maybe a little bit of misanticipation there. Because the one-way drops as he tries to flash his way out. And actually Link in the mix somehow comes down to 2 HP. I'm sure if he caught a headshot or something from short. And really, that leaves it wide open for FNATIC to come in and get set up. And I mean, if round 1's anything to go by, this might be just the geekiest map of Valorant we see in EU.
Well, I'll let you keep your eyes trained on that, because I'm sure you'll be watching out for it. And look, we've already highlighted the post plants with FNATIC, but the percentage win rate they get to when they do get that spike down with, you know, even just Mystic alive, you're going to have to pay it a lot of respect here. It's hard to look past, but of course we have seen teams that can disrupt that in the past, and there's a very high potential that Liquid could, but we have to see if they can. At this point, FNATIC once again leaning towards A after the initial default. Wall goes up. Aldrone forcing Link further away. Nade to follow. Doma going to take some steps towards the site now.
Not a lot of resistance, really. Yampy will make his way towards Cave to, again, address that post-plant utility. Buster will get the spike down, though. Expect them to try and hold position for the time being, let Yampy at least get close. He might actually catch Mystic, but look at that, the contingency in place. Magnum there to bail him out.
For now, Doma just biding the time to allow Magnum on the swing. There could have been the counterplay from Scream up towards Heaven, but not to be the case. And Doma gets to keep his life. Boaster then piles in. The fights they're taking are fantastic here again, just making sure none of them are taking unfavorable situations. Maybe allowing these pistols to come through. Boaster tucks himself into the wall, finds Cryptics, and now Scream trying to play for these exits. See what he can do. The jump on the corner as well for Boaster to make sure that tag wasn't going to be a headshot. And everything's great for FNATIC. 5 alive. The economy will be thriving at this point for them.
Yeah, it's building up some steam very early on.
Satchel out.
And it's the versatility, really, and how many variations there are to the way in which FNATIC were able to execute onto site. And I mean, we talked about it on the desk. They also have the ability that, you know, should they choose to maybe play a little more aggressively in 1 or 2 post plants, it keeps Liquid guessing, right? They need to be quick on the ball,
Revealing area.
do some damage on the way in, spread a little further apart this time around by FNATIC. Then we're going to explore Hooker for first time. Oster got his orbital strike online as well, so again, that's another big post plant tool for them should they be able to get the spike down.
Scout destroyed.
And quite the default here as well, drawing out as much utility as they can, making sure they catch any aggression early on, but the lean eventually does come back towards A. We've seen this consistently. 2 players on the site, Link going to be one, of course. And I believe Cryptic's the other. And there's the ult. Now that's a very, very targeted ult work there towards Cryptix. He's instantly removed from this. Link now isolated alone. Boaster has single-handedly dismantled the defensive side on A. Brilliance being shown by FNATIC. This is them in pure confidence. Now this is the bonus, bear in mind. But this execution works just as well simply with these SMGs. Now Yampy, there's no way back in. This is a save. The rifles are more important. Keep 3 alive.
Absolutely, and actually the orbital strike on the back of just getting the Owl drone tag, and Cryptix has nowhere else to back up to. I mean, anywhere else on site, he's pretty much warbangable from showers or short. Great use once again. Precision from Boaster. Secure that kill. Scream will find a consolation, at least. That's Boaster gone hunting, but they can give away one. They're going to ride through with Phantom, the Vandal, 2 Spectres as well. Now, side of Liquid, again, with the kill counts, it's only Scream and Yampy that have got on the board, so no real ult progression here.
No. I do want to ask you the question as well. We talk about mind games, right? And we've seen now constant hits towards that A site after the back of a slow default. You can see now the stack from Liquid as a response. I wonder when do we see FNATIC hit that switch to go for an adjustment?
Because I mean, it's little things, right? And it's the early trade-off of utility. Again, the fact finders that go out that are so crucial in scenarios like this. Because you're absolutely right. It could just be that they go, well, you know, we're going to full force hit B this round, and Liquid lean a little heavier on one side or the other.
Spike dropped.
It was a massive gap for them. Also, I mean, it relies on FNATIC to be really disciplined playing in this way, but okay.
The dry peak. The bait on the sound.
And it's things like that. It's things that are just completely unexpected, right? It's like, yeah, well, you know, they've got flashes there. There's no way they just dry swing up short, right?
Well, you say that, what a great counter, technically, that could have been for Yampy to try and be proactive towards the execute, right? So he maybe postures up a little more, takes a little bit more of a risky fight. And the read back in is a dry piece. FNATIC are so in control of this at the moment. Liquid are going to be looking for all the finest of margins. Link just saw him. Link knows everything, but this is still going to be a site take no matter which way you cut this. Through the TP they go to try and get out of dodge. Scream's the only one really on the site now. He's going to have to try and play through the smoke. Yeah, goes about as well as expected. Mystic on the other side. And they're still powering through with these Spectres and bits and pieces. The bonus is just being carried on. Link on the flank. It all came to nothing after so much info was found. And Soulcast and Cryptix just left scratching their heads, Hypok.
Yes. Nothing left really for them to do here. Durka actually going to deal with Cryptix before Soulcast can even get close. Another scenario where Liquid are forced to try and cling on to what they've got here, make something happen in the next round. Again, yeah, perfectly timed by Link, but it takes him so long to close the distance to get back towards Hooker. And again, it's a spot where, you know, potentially further down the line, Mystic or Boaster are going to be playing a post plant there with a lineup, but Again, I
You
think
wanna-
was it Soulcast that hit the TP, right? And then Scream.
Yes.
I gotta say, oversteps a little bit. The fact that Soulcast gets away unscathed, they still keep one alive. I mean, even if Scream goes 1-for-1 in that scenario, it doesn't really bail Liquid out of that scenario.
You're right, and Mitchman here, coming in from doing his homework, giving me the stat right now of 100% of the time in post plants, Fnatic win them in this game. Thanks for that, Mitch. Really good stat. Wow, strange. But real talk, though. How did Liquid disrupt this? That's the big thing, right? Like, they tried the little bit more of a kind of forward play from Yampy. That got read like a book. Boaster just kind of like almost contact piecing in towards it. Fnatic's money is sitting almost perfect at this point. Alt Economy's going to come right back around. We already saw Boaster run through one go of things. Liquid, I don't think they have an answer to this yet.
No, they don't. And the big thing here for me to keep an eye on is flank control, right? If they set up in this default in the early round, you can see Fnatic are going to send a recon down long, obviously on B. Doma's obviously going to boom bot into hooker. And it's these things that prevent Scream and Soulcast here going searching. And all Fnatic need to do is they need to wait for the initial push and then can anticipate the lean back towards A. And here, Durka staying as long as he does. He deals with that utility now. Liquid have to stay in formation. Makes it really difficult, but they've got to get a read on this timing. They have to find a gap.
Yampy's going to be... I don't know, he might be the one tasked to try and handle this. The amount of success that Fnatic have had. Now, this should be a somewhat okay round. Keep your eyes on, obviously, Soulcast and Scream as the ones who could maybe do some damage in that aspect. The rest are on Sheriff's Classics. Already seeing the current positioning coming out. Now, it looks like the response, at least being considered by Liquid here, would be to take a little bit of Shower's control. Could set up a bit of a weird crossfire, but the take does come in nonetheless. So, Fnatic will be towards site. Cryptic's waiting. Sky still dabbling towards. Hold on. Mystic needs to back away from that. Yeah, Durka picks up the slack on that one. There's Magnum now playing back in. Clears through Showers. Boaster, though, let's be careful of Yampy. Does very well there.
Just Scream and Soulcast left. Scream actually still in sight, Guardian in hand. Soulcast trying to fight his way back through pipes. No, he can do any damage because this is looking like another flawless round from Fnatic, and the only real word for it. Well, Scream will find a consolation. And again, look, Mystic playing so deep here. Fnatic, the other members just need to run down the clock. They just need to make it as difficult as possible. Okay.
It's still Scream.
Yeah.
It is still Scream, but it doesn't matter. Mystic is always going to be a safety net, right? If you don't displace him, can't really do much about it.
But again, I mean, yes, this is well controlled, obviously anticipated. Maybe the Liquid are going to play more aggressively here because of the lesser weapons. Try and get something together. Must be nice. Must be nice to get that kill into Lamps there. But again, it's just going to be the same thing. I think it's going to be this default. And see these early fact finders, whether or not Liquid are going to show themselves anywhere on the map or try and creep through. Just so disciplined from Fnatic. And the problem is that Liquid ultimately have to burn this utility up to find it, right? Without the Sova, as Jonas mentioned, they don't have that cooldown for the recon, and just a simple tool like that, it's got to be flashes or a peek.
I mean, I guess Yampy on the op could be an answer, but he's not in the right place. Cryptix just loses the fight to Boaster, which puts Soulcast instantly behind the curve. And they could take the site if they wanted to right now. They've hit the brakes for a second, though. Boaster's in a spot of bother there, but he's going to invest his ult right back in, clear out the side as best he can. Soulcast's position will be noted. The Molotov does come through. Soulcast is blind, burning alive, and Durka wants in. He gets one for it. But now he's got the information of where these players may reside. Already, Yampy going to be trying to be kept controlled by the Aldrone. But while that happened, Boaster took the swing on him, converted towards Link as well. And now Scream put into the position that no one wants here. Does find one, but that spike, it ain't on A.
There's no flashes left, only the... Oh, I was going to say only the Lamali left, but he's going to throw that down to try and swing out a spawn here. Both Mystic and Dome are stacked in towards Elbow. Play this very safely. 2 snake bites available, so They want Scream to have to clear all these angles. He's going to tap. Actually find the double swing. Stick does trade it out. One will survive through, but that's the 6th on the board now for FNATIC and really hitting their stride. Again, Boast it's so reactive with the utility. He sees obviously Soulcast reposition and try and send that scout out into showers. The orbital strike immediately invested behind triple, the Molotov, the flashes, and also there's nothing for Soulcast to do in that scenario. He's literally spammed out of position.
Yeah, it was fantastically done. FNATIC are just kind of herding Liquid around. As soon as that ult comes in, he knew which available area was left. As you said, put the molly towards it and chased into it. Not only does he get the kill on towards that, but then able to convert to the player trying to slip in towards, lamps. It's overall, this is a masterclass in how to approach this, and the money for Liquid's in the bin. They've barely been able to get off the start. Cryptics and Soulcast are yet to get on the board. And this isn't like a performance problem. We know how good they are. It's just they are being outplayed. Yeah. Straight up shut down, put out. By the time they get the fight, there's no favorable options. They need to switch up here to be able to try and do something back.
To make an offhanded comment there, I was like, Mystic's only 2-0. But he just hasn't died yet.
Alright, Yampy. There it is. Finds Durka, can now peel away from this. That's good. Disruption towards the default is exactly what they need. Now, Boaster last time did try and go dry towards this. And he's done it again. That time it's been red. Good mid-round calls here from Liquid. Good adaptation. Resmoke comes in. Yampy aware there could be a response quite quickly formed by FNATIC. He needs to bide the time. Magnum gets away with murder. Cryptics probably shaking his head on that one. They do get a frag back.
Yeah, and Mystic looking like they might lean towards B here. Now, that one kill alone, Yampy onto Durka, very important now because it's going to make Durka reconsider taking this as a solo peek every round. So maybe altering, disrupting that default, as you said. But the lean away from B. Look at this. Scream's already hit the rotate. Yampy creeping down Hooker and he sees nothing. They completely misread the situation here.
Are they going to get timed on this?
30 seconds left.
All of this off the back of Magnum and the positioning from Yampy, basically. Now, Magnum, he'll die for it, but it doesn't matter. They're going to be on the site here. Now, a 2v4. Now, the rifles can be upgraded. They'll be able to grab a few. Yampy can clear through this. And now they're going, oh, wait, what? Now they know what's going on. Spike's going to go down. Look at this post plant as well for Mystic. This is going to be interesting to see what he goes for here. Understanding the flanks could probably be the most vulnerable. They go for the almost CT plant on this. Now, these two are going to be playing kind of deep towards CT, and in we go. Yampy going to lead the way. Mystic plays catch on that. Going to find Yampy. Not necessarily for free. Backs away. Seekers come in. Site's now going to be taken over. Good use of the Seekers to force FNATIC back, but Mystic can still be a nuisance. Going to deny the defuse for a little bit of time, and you're right. Showstopper is now around and kicking. Soulcast, not even required. There it is. Pops it now, and he knows the time is on his side. Sends it. He gets it. Excuse me. Scream sitting this to halfway. Mystic. Is it again? He knows what's going on now. He has to make the play, but he's going to sit the defuse!
Yeah, I mean, it's by the skin of their teeth and ultimately brings everything out. I got to say, it may be a little bit sloppy on the post plant there, which is something you rarely say on this map with FNATIC, but I mean, it's an unorthodox round win, right? Like, Scream sticks the first half completely uncontested. Mystic here, he's got to respect it, but the second sound cue here, and got to close that distance again. Such a short space of time to be able to come back on once the first half comes through. Liquid will get themselves on the board, though.
Investment of the ult, though, down towards Shower. That cuts off one of the portions of that late lurk coming out through from the sky, but Durka going to try and open things up with the ult. That's a decent tag towards Link, who has to do the dance, but while that happens, Boaster in perfect timing and combination going to start building his case for the side take. Link's under pressure. 45 HP, tries to play forward. Doma says no, and Spike is now on towards the site.
Making the utility. You can see Scream there. He has to look through 3 different angles. Will swing out, though. The flash is perfect. Doma and Boaster fall, but Mystic good for the trade. And now Yampy getting dealt with on the flank as well. Magnum so disciplined to stay there for that long. Cryptics now in a 1v2. Knows where Mystic is, knows where Magnum is. Finds the first. Can he find the second? He does indeed. Cryptics.
If you want something done right.
Amazing clutch from him. will put Liquid second on. And again, you got to say it, like, FNATIC were well prepared for everything that was going to happen there. A couple of members of Liquid, I mean, Scream and Liquid, well, Cryptic's finding 3 on the round. Scream finding 2 of his own. Maybe stop the bleeding momentarily, Lauren.
Yeah, I mean, keep in mind there was also an invested ult from Liquid that they can't come back to. There was a couple of variables there that kind of got put into play. But again, we take those if you're Liquid. You can't kind of turn them down at this point. Let's see what FNATIC does. Maybe back to it. This time Link going to be on the other side. No subtlety from Boaster. Dives on past. Doesn't give away too much of the game. I think he's able to get back to position. I wonder if Magnum's going to check on this. And again, Link, how is he getting away with this? That's going to be that's a straight up kill on Durka. Backs away now. Molly could come out, but while this happens, Scream deals with Doma, who's trying to make the play towards B. Liquid finally getting a bit of a grip on this, trying to play those snaky angles, those ratty spots, and Mystic. This ain't a post plant anymore.
The flash will catch him as well. Soulcast spotting him out and will win the 1v1. Liquid strike back. 3 rounds now. And a 3-round deficit. Again, the money pretty comfortable for FNATIC. Actually, look at it there. Durka's struggling a little bit. Both are still on 5k, but I don't know if they can pass another. Well, it will require a light armor for them to drop one across. Actually, yeah, I think a little bit of utility was sold there because everybody's still on the full armor, but Orbital Strike, the Viper's Pit, Seekers available here, and FNATIC actually for the first time, after being disrupted a little bit, the heavy lean towards B and a fast hit coming through, Lauren.
Yeah, maybe this is a switch up that can catch off Liquid, but it does allow Yampi now to be in the fight, catches that flash full, has to back away. Soulcast now gets another go at things. These flashes are sublime. FNATIC just walking on in. Liquid having to respond though accordingly. Link's gonna come over. Great work on the play back in between Link and Scream, taking that side control as best they can. And now forcing FNATIC just down to the 2. The spike still in the hands of Boaster, considering his options here.
And look at this, Durka actually going to make his way all the way over to A, and Boaster actually going to hold fire for the time being on that TP.
There it is.
And this is the thing, the timing's completely off now. And actually the recon on site makes them believe Durka's even deeper, so he's going to catch Link off guard.
So sick. So well timed. Just that little throw off of the timing there, as you highlighted, was so perfect. It gives them that frag, and it gives them now a manageable 2v2. But bear in mind, they're not necessarily playing together in this. You've got Scream going on the flank, you've got Cryptics coming through on CT. Durka, though, still posted up, still sharp as ever. Reigning supreme right now, but it is Scream. If there's ever a man to do it, it would be him. 2 targets to find, both towards the showers, and around they go. You can see Boast already starting to do the walk. So many potential angles to clear.
Going up.
Ball goes up. He wants to get this halfway if possible. First bit of utility comes in. He's not stopping. Yeah, spray comes through. No, wait,
No
what
way.
HP? No, not again!
No way,
Not again!
dude.
Hypok, how has this happened twice?
One enemy remaining.
How? How does he get away with that? Again, the recon falls just short of the wall. And he's able to just stick it through. And again, it comes down to just an unorthodox, just completely unexpected, right? You don't expect somebody to have the balls to stick that all the way through in a 1v2 scenario. But again, timing-wise, Boaster's not able to get himself all the way onto short there. And even in the rounds, I mean, initially, even in the rounds where it's like, FNATIC switch up the pace, they're able to get themselves a really, really nice setup over, get that plant on. Durka played that perfectly. Again, offbeat with that rotation and the recon to kind of fake that he was a lot deeper on short than he actually was.
Little flash peek set for long. They want to go to it.
Down.
FNATIC doing their usual towards A to an extent. Mystic, though, joining Durka towards B long here. Spike still in between. Oh, the flash. And the peek. Yeah, Scream's got one. Yampi was going to try and fight for the other, but Doma's going to try and dive in to bail him out. Going to send that catches Yampi. Yampi did find Mystic before he went down, though, so he still makes value out of that.
Scream was straight out there. Yampi was like, can I find another? Maybe.
Spike planted.
The Seekers will give away some information, but Soulcast has Seekers of his own here. and a man advantage for Liquid. Orbital strike available. Scream one away from the run it back. We want to throw a couple more things at this retake.
And there we go. Already Magnum going to find Scream trying to follow in. There goes the orbital strike. It's going to be Soulcast to find Magnum, and now down to the 3v2. Boaster and Doma. The post plants are normally Fnatic's stronghold, but the Viper is down this time. Mystic dead, and the other Viper dead too. Doma does the dirty. 3 big kills, and now the 1v1 Boaster on 7 HP. He can't be shoulder peeking no more. I don't know if he's bought enough time off the back of that. We're going to find out now. This is going to be right down to the wire, and it looks like he's got the defuse.
So well played again. Yeah, I mean, Boaster's hand is forced there, 7 HP. He has to
round before the switch.
try and just get Link off that defuse, like you said, by another, well, 0.7 of a second to secure that round. But Doma nearly actually closing this out there. The nade ever so slightly off. Not do a little more damage onto Link. And somehow, it's 6-5.
We've got a game on our hands now.
Somehow.
Yeah, this started off as just a one-way train from Fnatic. It was a masterclass, but we're seeing aggression coming out from Scream to take territory to begin with. That's going to be a straight push through on towards A. This is a big indicator to Yampy to be ready for what's coming down. He gets caught. Just step in. Doma going to walk on through. Sight's theirs.
Here comes all the utility going through to make sure that they get complete control. Viper's Pit for good measure as well. Fnatic very well set up. Look how deep they are. This utility's got to be respected early on. Everybody from Liquid stacked up towards spawn.
Liquid's got a lot of utility to play with still, though. With a fast hit like this, there's still a little bit, but it's hard to make work from CT. Good flash, could have forced Boaster off the angle. Scream now actually going to get Doma, and here we go. Retake time for Liquid. Let's see if you can pull it off against the big boys. This ain't easy. Boaster tries to make the big play, but does get a 1-for-1 trade out. Magnum, though, to capitalize. Takes down Link and puts now the disadvantage in the pocket of Liquid. Scream and Soulcast. I'm beginning to dwindle. Magnum up on top. Durka to deny, and Fnatic maintain the lead on the half.
Really, really well played. And you're right. Yampy should be expecting that, right? With nobody there to greet Scream when you sends the ultimate down short on A. I gotta say it, like there, just play a bit deeper on B. Commit to the full retake. Make sure that you got 5 strong for it. But it's the early work in that half that leads Yampy to think that he can maybe dip his toes and on short towards market. Because Fnatic was so disciplined in with that setup, the default early on, that really there was no information given away. And this time around, it's 4 people staring you down in hookah.
Now, the start of this game, the conversation, of course, was that we're probably going to another map. 5 is a buffer. It's not a lot, but it's a good enough buffer to bring this back into conversation, that this could be a closeout by Liquid. We are live into the round. No worries about exploring. Let's get into what we're seeing. Scream on the Frenzy. Do we have the raid boss with Yampy? Yes, we do. So on the armor, does have the Frenzy as well. To boot, he's got all the goodies, so they've invested in their man.
Fnatic will actually walk forward, and Yampy waiting for it, but actually a characteristic loss there in a pistol round for Yampy. Usually pretty good for 3 or 4 on occasion. Utility on short, again between the sky smokes and the... As the spam comes through as well.
Can't be killed.
It's first strike all over again. Look at that, the short setup, beautifully done by Fnatic in the pistol round.
And Soulcast. Oh, snappy on one. Wait. Wait. What's going on? What's going on? Soulcast. What is going on? How is this happening? It's a 2v2 suddenly, Doma. Don't let this slip. Link's gonna make a mad dash for it. He's got 30 seconds to play with. He's thinking about what he wants to do with this one now. Any utility? No. Just the Frenzy at his side. No armor left. Already the nade comes in. 18 HP, stopping the plant. That's so smart. Doma does the jump. He knows now the information at hand. And now, yes, spike plant comes in, but what's he got left? 13 bullets in the mag. And 2 players to find. Link needs a miracle here, and Doma's not allowing any of that. Fnatic gonna convert the first round on the second half.
And that's the big one. I know the other day we were talking a lot about these score lines, but Liquid there to get the pistol and the conversion brings it right back to a tie game, but now potentially they put the pressure back on. I mean, how far do they let Fnatic run with this? Because The way the economy works, I mean, FNATIC go to 9, you lose your buy round, it's 11 before you know it.
Can't be killed.
And yes, I'm getting flashbacks to first strike.
That was literally picture perfect. I think the first time we saw Summon FC on Bind, that's brilliant.
Eight to 5. Sheriffs out at dawn. Cryptic's opting for just the ghost. Bonk. Soulcast says nope. None of that today. And a little play now beginning towards showers. Scream trying to bait the audio a little. Making sure that that does get fed back through.
Liquid cautious in approach here. Magnum actually going to spy out Yampy here outside market. But nobody else spotted, so it's going to keep 3 players of FNATIC over towards A. Actually, might be able to isolate this kill onto Magnum with Doma playing so deep in hooker as well. The flash is very deep, but you can see Liquid have already crept past it. They're on the orb already.
They're all here. There's 4 players waiting to burst on this. Timing's could be interesting. Durka could do something with this. Magnum's forced off it. Kirby aim coming in. Deep flash keeps Durka a little dissuaded from the swing, but they do start to pour out here. Magnum needs to be careful. It's a fine balance, and yeah, already you're going to see Durka now gone. You can see the panic starts to set in. He does have Doma by his side, but the site is controlled by Liquid for now, and the TP comes out at 18 seconds.
Force now, again, they have the wall. A little bit of a buffer, but look at this. The 3-man walk up short from FNATIC. They might even catch this plant going down on triple.
Oh, the denied. That could be big. Is it actually going to stop him and do enough damage? I don't believe so at this point. Spike plant is down. And FNATIC playing it back in unless Scream goes God mode right now. 40 HP, and that's pretty much it. 3 players staring him down. They do not want to allow this to happen. And Boaster to secure the 9th now.
Damage done. Spike plant. Couple of ticks in the boxes, but the tall order now. Like I said, I mean, they lose the buy round. It's rough. Very, very rough for Liquid to mount anything going. No early momentum garnered for them. I guess, yeah, Soulcast with the Seekers online, but similar thing to in the first half. No real kills on the board. Spike plant, yes, but not great ultimate progress here. Liquid either.
9 to 5. This is a big old round for Liquid. They kind of need this. You get double digits against you off the back of the bonus. It's not looking so good. Flash comes through, but it's Yampy leading the way here. Straight through towards the A site. Going to be the one to put his body on the line. 2 players behind this, though. Mystic on the other side. Soulcast trying to build in, but he can't quite get through the utility. Seekers come through. Dirk has found Scream, but there's Yampy. Backlines hero. Finds Boaster. And now Soulcast trying to panic his way into this as well. He's got problems on his own, but there's the spray. This is messy on the site. Mystic does come out on top, and they keep the player advantage, leaving just Cryptics now. Keep his head down for a second.
Toxins going up.
These 3 have hit the brakes for just a moment. Magnum spotted. Mystic on the cross. No, gonna be surely finding this. Yeah, good work from Magnum on the swing, coming back in, and now problems build for Liquid. This is looking like that final map is on the horizon.
Indeed, it's FNATIC strike double digits, and the only real tool that Liquid had going into that one, Seekers, was invested, but Yampy and Scream now one away from their ultimates. Potentially something if they can find a first blood to maybe turn this round in their favor, but look at it, it's Sheriffs across the board for them. Potentially going to make a play to get Yampy an orb because he's got the full armor here.
Blocking sight.
I'm going to steal one away, so that only leaves the showers. One and Magnum will open things up. Link falls right off the bat.
And look, we had this in the previous map. We had it on Ascent. That was a Team Liquid stronghold. This is a FNATIC stronghold. This is why best of fives between these two often do go, quite the distance. Doma trying to convert, capitalize. Yampy gets out of
Synergy.
dodge.
It's so perfect. That flash is from so deep on site. And that's with the owl drone coming through the TP as well, Lauren. It's beautiful to watch Fnatic play this map.
They have so many just small little set pieces that just garner them so much. Now, it does lose life for Doma, but as said, you're at 45 seconds. Leaning back towards A, there's still the Vipers present. I would say you can see in the Sova kind of take a second to go around, which would be Durka going towards Heaven.
Get out of my way!
Yampy going to pop the ult on this, waiting for that heal to hit. It's going to be time to go. 30 seconds. This has to be pretty sharp on this one, and if there's any sort of time denial, this becomes a problem. But Yampy going to lead his way in, down to 40, gives it up to Durka. Yeah, no worries for him. He's happy to receive that one, sitting towards Heaven just for it. Mystic still on the site, though, and the spike yet to be toyed with yet. There we go. Finally, Cryptic's going to try and put this one down into place. Mystic. Oh, no, it was Durka through the smoke, but Mystic still plays in off it, leaving Scream now in the 1v3. It was a 1v4. Time's on his side, but the number certainly isn't. Durka is low. All three lining up here. Can't back away. Can't do anything. Back to the wall. Fnatic make it to 11.
And the unfortunate thing there, Yampy pops his Blade Storm, but he obviously had to use his dash on short previously to escape any further damage. So ultimately forced to updraft to create some kind of diversion. But again, coming through the Viper wall, he gets that damage buff. Easily plucked out of the sky by Durka. And a do or die round. Liquid here. This map. Fnatic looking to close things out and force a fifth. And they played this so well. Again, it goes without saying. Fnatic playing Bind well, but it's always just so good to watch.
Oh, this is just... If you're a fan of good Valorant, you're going to love a bit of this. And Fnatic just flaunting now. Two big pickups at the start. Your heavy hitters now gone. Soulcast, Link, and Cryptics. All presented with a conundrum to try and work out. Walking on through the ult investment, obviously highlighting where one may be, but Durka presents problems of his own. But timing now, does he consider it? I think he might have missed the timing on this. Yeah, dead. Cryptics capitalizes, good work from him. Gonna fall back towards the site. We still know the Viper is around that ult. Soulcast goes looking.
What's he gonna respond? And yeah, Soulcast did spot Mystic out in showers.
Planted.
The Viper's pit on site. And Cryptic's gonna give them some control for the time being. Interested to see here how they play this one. Cryptic's both snake bites available. We're actually going to use one early here. And the Seeker's invested, going to give away all the information and the showstopper. They're throwing everything at this retake.
I'm waiting to see a kitchen sink come flying past. Is everything there? And now Link can't do it all. It's going to be 12 on the board. Fnatic taking us the distance here. Split will be on the horizon in just one round's time. Fnatic showing off how good Europe can be, especially in their strengths. We've seen Liquids, now we've seen Fnatic, and I can't wait for Split.
I mean, I've got to say, it's a worrying prospect considering the form of both of these teams in the last couple of months on Split. It's kind of crazy that we've seen, you know, both strong maps from these teams, and they've gone, I'll be honest, as pretty much expected, but...
And let's also bring in the context of the fact that two of the rounds that Liquid have are off the back of not necessarily ninja diffusers, but full diffusers from Scream. So in reality, yeah, in reality, it's actually a bit of a mad one. We do see that kind of very stylized Molotov now, and a lot of people have been enjoying that. Magnum, though, still doesn't want to let them pass. Turns the flash pretty well, comes back in. Backhand Scream, you don't often see that sort of thing. The ultimate, though, going to kind of take a second of thought away from Link. And the spike plant going to go down.
Oster, Durka, Mystic come back into this one.
Enemy mark.
On the side of Liquid, Orbital Strike, and already Mystic trying to challenge this post plant here. Expecting them to try and play it, but Link, wise to it, will shut that flank down. Leaving two players left now. Most has got himself all the way out, and they're thinking, where are they? Just nobody's peeking this.
That Molly's great.
How?
That Molly's actually excellent. Soul cast, though, gonna keep them alive for now. Liquid live to fight for another round. Yeah.
They still nearly had it.
Yep.
In the economy, with that early lead in this half, Fnatic not really too phased by that round loss. things are delicate on the other side, and again, if we even want to entertain the discussion, we've got to look for clean rounds here.
We talk about comebacks at 10 rounds. That's it. We don't commit early. High flash from Magnum. Doesn't quite find the info that he'd want off the back of it. You can see already the lean from the Brimstone heading back towards A. Magnum playing towards site. That's going to be a 3 play up through hookah. Yeah, and a great moment to find there for Cryptix. Magnum now punished and Doma feeling extremely isolated.
I've got your trail.
We're going to give that orbital strike invested now to try and disrupt this setup here, but Liquid go 2 for 1 there. Boaster will get a response. There's 2 left once again. It's Mystic and Durka, and Mystic will actually find one through the smoke here.
It would be a 2v4 if this was going to come out. Now a 2v3, of course. I don't quite see it going down, especially with Link still alive. Yampy going to be the first bouncer on the door, says no to Mystic, and now Durka in the 1v3. Time dwindling. I think he knows his options are gone. Very well done there by Liquid, maintaining composure and getting 7 on the board now. If they can break the back of the money for FNATIC, keep them kind of in a in a bit of a hole, we can talk about the key fundamentals they need to overcome to be able to build this back in. But again, bear in mind, this has been now probably the most success that Liquid has had consistently in a long time.
Yeah, and with that early buffer, and again, the round loss bonus as well, I think it's going to take another 2 rounds really to truly break the economy of FNATIC and buy back into this. I mean, Doma sat on 2,900 after a full buy. Boaster still sitting at 6,500, so this goes to show those early rounds, when you win them comfortably, will pay dividends midway through the half. Right, Link actually set up for a little bit of a set piece onto B. All of Liquid over on this side of market. 3 members of FNATIC actually here to greet them, so keep my eye on what Link is going to send forward here.
Ollie goes out. Flash goes towards long. Flash back towards Hookah, and there's the investment of the ult. It's going to be the run in from Scream. Just full commit. Charges in. Full in a China shop, and he takes down Doma. Going to be looking for a little bit further work, though. Yampy tested it long. Does try to get away from this. Stays alive for only a second. FNATIC! How have they just shut this down? Link, the last hope here for Liquid. Or we are going the distance. Oh, a messy spray on the first. Boaster to do it. Boys and girls, ladies and gents, we are going the distance. I think most of us could have seen this coming, seeing how the maps were, but I am more than happy to see this come down to the final map.
But easily, we've seen Cryptix pick up this agent, so anything could go today, really. As I said, Tom, Cryptix have locked in that Viper.
Nice.
Yeah,
okay.
It's so like almost overpowered at the moment. Like I don't really blame them for going something of the sort, and we are going to get that triple duelist again.
Okay,
so
we're doing
this is the comp now from FNATIC. Imagine ending it here. Like this is how this is going to go. We've got a brand new composition from Team Liquid, an agent that they've not been playing before, and then we have this from FNATIC, this monster.
Here, both already have that place secured in Iceland. We get to see how they fare against the rest of the world, but for now we have to watch and wait how these mad compositions play out. But to start with, Soulcast going to show intention towards that B site. A little bit of utility invested to clear as they go. Yampy following not too far behind. Oh, he's just going straight on in. Bye, Boaster. Say hello to Yampy and his little friend. The man's a raid boss for a reason, but this is all just a bit of a ruse, a bit of a to get him off the scent. Look at where that spike is.
And actually, completely uncontested here. Mystic gotta respect the plant there. As he planted open for heaven as well, so it gives Liquid the opportunity. And Doma actually caught as well. Unless, again, you got to be wondering. There's nobody still here, but Yampy will pick that one up. Durkee. Okay, we'll get a 1-for-1 over here on main, but Mystic responds elsewhere.
Oh, that timing could have been sick for Durka if he managed to just turn that into 2, but no. Scream gonna hold that cross, and we are down to just Mystic and Liquid with a very, Yampy style start there, just dashing into the face of the opponent, just pure, unadulterated aggression.
And again, it's on the back of Cryptix's wall that cuts off all of these sight lines, and there's no way to tell if anybody's following up on Yampy. There's nothing given across to FNATIC, and the fact that he stays there again and finds another kill onto Doma as well, this makes it even worse for them. But again, stack up outside Garage here, and Doma and Boaster to greet him. They opt to peek, and actually, yeah, a headshot will land onto Doma, so got to back away from this angle for the time being.
It looks like kind of not necessarily rinse and repeat. We saw this before with Yampy, but now he's got the team behind him, but this time Doma takes the swing. Finds Yampy, but the site's now going to be under pressure. Boaster forced towards the back of site here, not been drawn out of position just yet. Waiting, gets checked on, and actually Scream does the double take and gets him as well. So for now, the round with the heavier investment, of course, with those Spectres, is the player to the good. Soulcast going to keep Magnum in check. Good start for Liquid here. And Mystic unable to find too many opportune moments, and there it is, shut down by Soulcast. And for a good beginning, this is exactly what Liquid would have wanted. Clean second round, good execution, everything in the right place.
So yeah, Yampy and Soulcast getting really good progress towards the ultimates as well. Potentially not going to get them online to secure this bonus, but Scream actually going to throw a Vandal in the mix here. 4 Spectres elsewhere. Spread a little wider apart this time around. With the spike over towards A main at least. Maybe just going to wait out, see if they can get a first blood anywhere else.
I love the way they're just setting the standard, right? That Soulcast is going to be a nuisance to this every time. Now, there is a default across the rest of the map, so if they overly read into it, they will be caught. But we have to see if the fight goes down this way. Cryptix, no, he's so well poised. Great damage towards Boaster, but now it's Yampy's turn. Yeah, takes over, does really well. So again, maybe that attention towards B kept them in the minds that they could have pushed out from A, but they still get caught. Mid gets overwhelmed. Liquid pouring through this round. 4 still standing, 2 rifles now beside them. Scream had his own at the start, but now Mystic and Magnum not loving it.
No, Nancy the Seeker might just, well, at least Mystic has to shoot it to deal with it. So we'll reveal his position. Soulcast, decent damage there, down to 21 HP on Mystic. FNATIC find themselves in a 2v3 here, just going to give it up, try and hold on to these weapons, because Liquid have managed to convert the third round here with a lesser buy. And again, it's the strength of that default, right? As soon as, I mean, Cryptix finding the first and doing enough damage onto Boaster as well is huge in itself. I think Boaster potentially desperate for that heal, which is why he pushed forward a little more, and Yampy was able to capitalize on that.
And I love the whole concept of this, that you can't... It's hard to read Liquid's default on this. As soon as they try to get a little bit more aggressive with maybe just taking some defensive-sided aggression for FNATIC, which I'm normally a big fan of course, they still have players so well poised for it with, you know, Cryptix over there, and even the damage that he was able to achieve on the second set up Yampy for success, right? It's like, I love that sort of read. Now, that's going to be in the minds, Lil of FNATIC here as well. How do we start reading this default? How do we get that early information then to make our plays? Because the aggression didn't work out so well that round, so if we go back to it, we got to refine it even further. So Liquid do hold the mind game kind of card for now, I'd say.
Also, as well, it's the switch up for the for Cryptix's utility, right? I mean, all he has to do is keep alternating which side he throws his wall down, and effectively they have 4 different approaches. I mean, fake either side or commit either side, or at least anticipate the aggression on one side or the other. So it gives them so many options.
Looks all in. Big stack up towards A coming in if they commit off this. On the other side, there would be Boaster and Durka there. Mystic not too far away.
Here.
No, I'm looking at the buy. Of course, they still have those rifles, so Mystic and Magnum going to stay on those, but Boaster getting himself a little Spectre frenzy and just the Sheriff between Durka and Doma. So, see what Yampy does with this. Early utility. Yampy trying to work off the back of it. Really nice read from FNATIC to understand that this is something that Liquid have been trying. Yampy using guy's utility is almost a point to follow on from, but now timing's everything. Scream comes through, checks it well. Boaster, though, still with an excellent trade, and the slowdown gives him time to back away. Nice work here. This will play in the other player on the top side. That's Mystic. Checked on, deleted. Cryptics and Link in combination. Gorgeous work again. FNATIC with not necessarily a bad read, but just overpowered.
Cryptics will get spotted out here. Doman now got both of these players down to low HP, actually. We'll find the first, but Scream there. We'll find that one, but caught on the reload there by Magnum, but finds himself in a 1v2. Yampy holding this angle from main. He cannot cross to pressure Link on site right now, and Liquid happy to wait. I mean, got plenty of time to wait for Magnum to make a move.
Spike planted.
Ticking away, there you go. Yeah, Yampy will clean things up just before the wall drops. But again, it's just a domino effect, right? That early aggression comes down. Boaster does manage to dismiss away, sorry. Escape with his life for the time being, but again, after that, it's they find this kill, then they find Mystic on rafters, and it's just an unrecoverable round for them.
And again, I quite like the Astra utility there. These sort of little like pieces. Roll your mind back to the very start of the game. We saw in Sewer that, you know, Durka got that kind of brilliant 3-player pickup, I think, with the Astra utility kind of in combination with the slow and everything else thrown in. So I like what they bring out, but Durka's straight on the op here too. So Rifle's out now for FNATIC, back on the bite. On the other side will be Liquid, of course, still sitting pretty with their economy, but Durka's in the right place for this.
Yep.
They continue this push. See what he can do with it.
Boaster as well there. So as soon as Durka takes contact with the operator, Boaster going to have a really good opportunity to counter peek off this, or if anybody tries to trade that. He actually does burn the first, but this is exactly what I was talking about.
Let's see if he waits Boaster. Let's one pass. Nade comes in. Yampy's now in on the site, getting his attention drawn. But Scream still finds Boaster. How's that just happened? And now Durka's in the middle of no man's land. He hates it. He wants to get away from it. The wall goes up, but there's still the other wall behind it. Durka does thread the needle towards Scream, but the answer from Liquid is resounding. Too quick trade back out, but now Durka up on the Yol. He doesn't want to let go of this round just yet. Yampy is the first victim, but he needs more. It's a 2v3. Mystic now joins in. Spike now planted. Stunner of a snap. The man just broke his wrist for it, but it doesn't matter. Cryptics wants the edge of that. You know he was considering it, but he holds. He waits. And Durka looking for a pixel out of place. Smoke goes in. Heads over to it. Ash comes in, looks for it. Back of the site clear still. Mystic now has to dive in towards it. Durka left in the 1v2. No easy way out of this. Liquid lock it down.
Go 5 up very early on, and other than the Blade Storm, a couple more tools for FNATIC, but back down onto pistols, a couple of Sheriffs, maybe an SMG or two to throw at this, but again, Boaster even lets Yampy pass, and they still clear this angle here. So well played from Liquid, just the discipline on the way in here. Again, the orbital strike forces 2 players out into the open behind Pillar as well.
Can't say he didn't try it. The best he could, but already the economy in tatters. And look at this, just forcing Durka off the angle into an unfavorable situation if they went for it. The lean towards A is slowly but surely coming through. There's a whole lot of utility over here, but look at this mid-take coming out between Yampy, excuse me, not Yampy, between Durka and Boaster. Big amount of territory gained, but read off the back, what do they do with this? So much pressure is going to be towards Magnum with that frenzy. He does have the utility to depend upon. A little bit of the Astra as well coming in from Mystic. And there's the turret to give away the game. And there's the flank. Durka finds Link. Now, there was a second thread to this. It wasn't just Durka, it was Boaster with him. Now, the rest comes out, but Yampy's right there. Magnum goes down. That's big work, but he doesn't want to stick around too long. But they're all being funneled right towards Boaster. Now he needs to dip away from this. Keep buying time. Keep falling away. 40 seconds now. He has to take the fight here. Falls off from this. They've reset the pace a little, but now Liquid feeling a little bit boxed in. Gonna force their way forward. Here comes the ult now. Sends it. Hopes for the best. Doesn't get it. The Sheriff not gonna do it. Yampy's does. Doma now dead. Mystic under pressure. Pillar is being wrapped on as well. Mystic forced to fight, and Yampy wins it.
Doma so unlucky not to find a kill with that showstopper, but Boaster now finally dealt with, and Durka the last man standing. Sheriff in hand. 1v4. Again, if you can do any damage, fantastic, but Liquid right now in full control. even for good measure. I'm not sure if it spotted him. Nobody seemed to react off that, so he's just out of line of sight. But Link will take a little peek and find him. So
My ult's not ready.
consolation kill, but that's about it. If you can find any more, it'll be huge for them. But I mean, economy-wise, Liquid already rolling in credits.
Feels like you could just count 1, 2, 3, and they're already up to 6 rounds on the board. This is strength and a fadeaway from Yampy as well. Insult to injury on that. That's gonna, that'll make you feel good, does it? But Liquid looking exceedingly strong now. Again, I guess you could argue when you look at the composition from FNATIC, you don't say, that's a defensive-sided team. But still, 6-0 is hard to play against.
There's little things like so the molly there in the previous round again. Liquid are kind of well equipped for wherever FNATIC want to make use of this composition and show any early round aggression. We've seen it a couple of times on A main, but again, when it doesn't happen, Link's there in mid with a set molly to kind of shut down any aggression in mid also, or at least keep them in check for the time being. It's the first time here Durka are going to walk out. Boaster inside male as well to give him some support. But again, Liquid just sat here. They're ready for it now. They're reading this perfectly.
Aggression last round, probably ringing true in Liquid's minds after that push-up between Durka and Boaster. Again, they sit quite attentively towards middle. 1 minute on the board. They're holding the default on the extremities so they can slowly work this, and there it is, Yampy deletes Boaster off the server. Durka gets flashed down, going to be checked on here by Soulcast, but Durka is good for one. The second evades, Link still holds, and they win the mid-fight. It has drawn the attention of another, though. But Scream's starting to make some progress. But actually backs off from that.
Just at the time as well, Doma and Scream are about to jiggle into each other. Boombop going to give up Scream's position. Doma throws the paint shells out to stop the chance of them running at all, and as soon as the hit doesn't come through, you can see already Magnum and Mystic have stayed committed onto A. Actually, I think with Mystic's position, he's going to catch this audio cue, so it should pull Doma onto this rotation. It absolutely will.
Yeah. See the call being made.
Bomb grenade out.
Magnum instantly forced away from this, and there's the flank from Mystic.
One enemy remaining.
Good timing on it, but Cryptic's
Spike
just better.
down
Breaks
A.
through against 2, and now the 1v2 for Doma. The angle from Scream is just uncompromising, and there it is. Liquid keep this clean, taking strides now going ahead.
And even there, with the time left on the clock, I mean, Mystic's done fantastically to react off of Magnum's utility, because look, all of this utility from Killjoy keeps them stuck here for so long, but there's 9 seconds left here. They have to charge down, and unfortunately, Doma I guess not hitting that rotate early enough. I'm not sure when Mystic catches those steps, but he's definitely in range as soon as they come level with sewers. Fortunately, they can't buy enough time for him to get there and get an extra body.
Ooh. Forced away from the early fight. Scream going to try and play the closer lines, but there is danger on this. Doma normally good for one. Yeah, forced off the angle, forced to back away. And at least for now, Liquid going through the motions of clearing towards the site.
Boaster well equipped to judge on default here. Again, Liquid now will reset. Again, just the way they're playing this, all these angles they're clearing, they know how FNATIC want to play. Again, Soulcast actually going to spam Dirk out, at least keep him in that spot for the time being. Did actually pull Boaster away, and once again the Viper wall goes up, Sage wall behind it, so it will reinforce. Boaster has to show his hand, and we get cleaned up by Link now. The weapon swap comes. Oh, this is tragic. FNATIC getting absolutely dismantled here by Team Liquid.
All right, look, if any, look, it's gone from like a PG-13 to like, you know, this is off the watershed. Yeah, it is. All right, kids, time to get to bed. You're not allowed to see this sort of stuff on the TV. This is brutal work coming out from Liquid. FNATIC, they just can't stop this roll now. At this point, the scoreline is commanding.
Listen, it's so good though, because again, FNATIC have no late round stall, right? Other than Magnum and his utility, they have no late round stall. So Liquid can run the clock down. And unfortunately, FNATIC have to go out and find information. They have no means of getting information other than, you know, these kind of, dare I say it, overzealous peaking in the early rounds. And they're not being rewarded for it. Liquid are punishing every single one of them.
And now the mid play comes out. This time, it's going to be Soulcast leading up with Scream by his side. Gets enough of a peek towards Doma. That's going to force him away from Heaven. Has to invest utility back. Slow comes back through. And now Ropes is open.
So I'm actually turret and alarm bot set up for just this scenario. It's a 3-man push from Liquid as well, so Mystic in a good spot to shut this down, and Boaster and Magnum on site as well.
Little pop flash here for the burst. Patience being shown, 40 seconds. Soulcast.
Here.
There we go, now notes everything. Wall goes up, the utility gets invested. The ult comes down as well, so a quick clear off the back of it. Flash comes through as well, but we wait. FNATIC still hold the cards close to the chest. They don't want to give away too much, but they've been noted. Yampy, he's seen him, but the knives go anywhere other than the body that he wanted. Soulcast does it for free. Magnum, though, back of the site, overwhelmed by Cryptics in the end. We are just down to 1. Link in a 1v3. This could be the first fight back with 10 seconds. The spike may as well be in Narnia here. He's going to get the drop down on one. The quick spray for the second. But too many angles, too many players, and finally 1 on the board for FNATIC.
Yeah, and again, the setup was great for Heaven there. Mystic actually forced off the angle by Link's orbital strike, so good read by Liquid nonetheless of exactly how FNATIC was set up, but it's a drop in the ocean, I'll be honest, and I don't even want to see the state of the economy here, obviously.
Oh, no.
Yeah, well.
No. Looks like my bank account. Don't do it. Just don't look. If I don't look at it, it's not real. That's how it works. Oof, 8-1. Now this is going to be count to 3. Durka.
Yeah.
Just had the better angle on it. Nicely done. Catches him through the edge of that wall.
Love the usage of the Astro utility there. Again, that's the fake coming through, and it's timed perfectly with the peak. And actually, Durka will find a second. He still had the dash because he got that first kill for free.
Yeah, it is. It's looking like a finish day between these two. You have Durka, you've got Yampy, and they are phenomenal at what they do. No matter whoever wins this, they are truly ambassadors for the region going forward. Doma, spreading out Scream, gonna pop a nade down. And Scream unfazed by this, gonna continue forward. Durka plays catch. That's 3. And now 2 potential victims remain for Durka.
Link and Soulcast. Link actually just going to get a consolation orb at least. Soulcast back on the operator now, obviously retrieving that.
30 seconds left.
Again, it's important here for FNATIC to sit very deep on this. They don't want to give anything else away. They want to try and stabilize the economy here because they came into this, what, with a Spectre and a Judge on Boaster and Magnum. Even here, look for them to try and retrieve these weapons. I mean, Magnum's all the way over in A Heaven, so no chance of him getting an upgrade here, but Boaster potentially can. See, he will do just that. Will get himself the Phantom. And Magnum actually makes over here as well to upgrade, so a big win actually for FNATIC. They put their second on the board. You can see there, just with the timing of the fake, he's able to cross into that position and actually has, I guess, vision on the shoulder of Yampy or something at least, where he's able to get that wallbang.
Like, I'm waiting for someone to post this clip on Reddit and someone reply with the comment of like the you know, like the angles diagram of like when you can see the like the like, you know, the little like the dissected diagram of it of like how to peek corners. But for now it is 8-2. And I mean, we talk about buffer, right? The scary part is even if they close out every single round at the end, FNATIC will be coming in with a tough second half.
Yeah.
But a correct stack here though.
It is, and everything invested utility-wise as well. 2 members backside, Boaster going to deal with that, so position noted at least. Boaster is there as well. It could be Boaster that loses out.
Poor old Boaster Doma sat there like, I'm Magnum, don't leave me. You stay right here, alright? Keep that turret. I don't want to be alone right now. And everyone else has to patiently wait. You could see the lean coming over, I believe, from Mystic there. Again, Doma is still tucked at the back there.
Again, now, Liquid can ride this out. They wait for Utility to come back off cooldown. They're actually going to walk the wall this time instead of Scream putting his wall down to get them in.
Oh no. Okay, Doma does well to at least find one. That allows a bit of play in for Magnum there. Denies the ult to come out as well. The adjustment couldn't quite hit though. Scream's gonna do just enough. Mystic! Oh, if he'd caught those heals there, that could have been the spike, then lost. Scream with the rest towards Cryptics. They're investing this round, and Yampy is doing the damage.
Oh my god.
Liquid clawing it back in again.
Last round.
And it seems like that as well. Waiting for the audio cue of the Sage Wall to go down behind the Viper Wall. Just that minor adjustment. It keeps FNATIC guessing. I mean, Doma's in a perfect position to stop it. Shuts down Cryptics with the ult. Magnum does well to find Link at least there, but again, the second just evades him. Soulcast survives.
Double up. Okay. Okay.
Let's see what you got, Boaster.
Look, here we go. Yeah, literally. Can we just go to Boaster, dude? He's about to sit in like a 1v4 potentially. Show me the money, Boaster. Let's see what you got. Can you take on Yampy here? Now, the rest of his side are going to try and take some space. Already good work from Doma. Just gets himself down. But on this corner, Boaster. Oh, it's not nice, is it? Like, look at this. He hasn't even had the chance to get a peek yet. He's just forced away from every favorable angle. And again, denied. There's no room to work here.
Plant the spike.
As Durka now posted up. We'll get flashed off that angle. Sends a shot out nonetheless, but look at that. Actually, yeah, Boaster and Durka both finding kills, and Cryptics dealt with on default as well. Link, the last man standing here in the final round of this half in a 1v4.
It's one. Oh, the tag, dude. The tag. I was ready. I was ready for it, but this is room for FNATIC. And it's not much. It is finest of margins. They need this mad composition to truly come alive here. Now, for FNATIC, they are on 9 rounds. They are closing in towards double digits very early on.
Well,
by all accounts, this is a mountain to climb now for FNATIC.
The big thing is, and again, come back to the composition, they're going to have to play this very fast and loose, right? They're going to have to make quick moves. And ultimately, look at the composition that Liquid have. They have so much stall. They have the Sage, they have the Viper. I mean, they have Soulcast for these information flashes early on. Link with the Molly. They have so much stall. It's going to be so difficult for FNATIC to get this done.
Ooh. Okay. Okay, no, this is fine. Boaster will take that. Yampy goes down. Link's still there, though. While this happens, FNATIC were looking like they wanted to start towards B, and Doma might just do that.
Actually, a Magnum catches the timing on Soulcast as well. Yeah, 5v3 here. Link will respond with one of his own, and Boaster has to respect that back away, but Durka will find Cryptics, and the numbers dwindle, but Scream's still alive and kicking on site. No. Brings it to a 2v2 now.
No, that was a 2v4. They're going to peek together. That's so well done, though. Wait, Scream's got another. Another 1v1. Boaster, he's out of there. He's made a mad dash. He saw all that happen and went, nah, I'm all right. I'll head off. I'll go plant elsewhere. But Scream. 100 HP, frenzy to hand. Boaster, Ghost, sitting, what looks like towards sight, kind of eyeing up towards the pillar wrap. What does Scream do with this?
Boaster's playing this very slow, tucked all the way on sight.
He has to.
And actually, it's planted for heaven, so it's going to make Scream actually second guess this. He's got so many angles to clear here, but doing it quickly enough that actually he's going to get close. He's got a chance here.
He does, but Boaster just has to play this cool, calm, and collected, but Scream's got a good read on this. He's going for the fight. He's missed him. Oh, Boaster just needs to stay calm, and he gets the kill in the end. Good work from Boaster to fall away from the site and does everything he needs. Ooh.
Unfortunately, again, Scream's hand is forced. He has to charge through there, so it gives Boaster a good opportunity to play off the audio cues and just break line of sight. Let it tick away. But right here, I mean, Boaster's considering coming back to B, and I think Mystic makes the order where he's like, nope, they're both here, run. But I mean, with how that started, the fact that it came down to a 1v1 even is insane.
FNATIC going for the mid play. Yampy on the other side. Boaster's there. Extremities are being pretty well controlled. You still have the turret over towards that A push if required, but no. Falling back towards B, but this feels like a gamble stack, and it's working out right now for Liquid. They have 4... I guess you could say Yampy's pretty close by because he's still working on mid. Quite close to this. So FNATIC might have a little bit more work on their hands. Thoma waiting, and the deny on the timing here. Yampy starting to patrol middle. Magnum spots it. Now I'm getting a little nervous, Hypok, because there's still a world where this could get a little bit dangerous, and here we go. Doma with the first, Magnum with the second. This is good work from FNATIC. This is exactly what they need. Keep it clean. Magnum keeping them controlled for now until the Yampy did find a bit of room, but it's a 2v4 with the spike planted. This could be safety for FNATIC.
Hopefully don't give them a way back into this. Again, Yampy tagged down to 48 HP. So Link got to be the front man. He does creep, and again, the objective here, some damage. Yampy will go and find one at least. Well, Link can do any further damage here. Expects the counter peek is perfect from Durka to find the first and second headshot, and FNATIC do close out. 3 survive as well, and that's important. Build a little bit of momentum for them.
Okay.
I mean, I said
They're doing what they need to.
Yeah, I said it. That's how it needs to be. They need to just kind of find one player, almost suffocate that, but smother them, overwhelm them, give them too many things to worry about. But the problem is when this comes to a buy round and all the utilities available for Liquid, it's going to become increasingly difficult to do that.
Here we go. Bonus time for FNATIC. This could be a big conversion. If they convert this, this would be huge for them. Quick play over towards the ramp. You have Yampy on the other side. Oh, no, that's a problem. That's a big problem. You don't want to be doing that at this point, but nerves are kicking in. Mistakes can be made. You're seeing Yampy fall away from this for now.
Still a very quick piece though. Look at just throw bodies into heaven, get set up here, and Soulcast's gonna spot one out. Durka has to deal with that. Actually, Soulcast drifting back onto stairs on B Heaven, and FNATIC kind of ride this out for the time. I mean, they ride this lull in the round.
The breaks. Magnum's I have a problem trying to get past the Link. That's a bit of a tricky fight. It looks like it's go time now, trying to clear out the side as best they can. Scream's gonna be waiting. One. Couldn't convert on the second. Boaster outdoes him. And now good hold from FNATIC. Great work coming through on this. The burst was actually really well done.
Yeah, and just making no sound. It makes Liquid think, well, have they shown, is it a fake? That's why Soulcast drifts back over, and Cryptix has to hold strong on B site. Really, really well played by them, and I mean, there was a moment there where I thought, actually, yeah, as soon as Screen falls on site, Link's going to be able to find at least 2 if they drop off rafters here, but disciplined enough to clear out hell also.
I'm so impressed with that hold of timing. They literally just hit the brakes, as you said, added that paranoia to it, and played off each other perfectly. This is really good from FNATIC, and exactly what they needed. This is what the doctor ordered to get them right back in this game.
Poison's off.
You think bigger picture now. Again, this was the buy round. Yes, they saved 2 weapons through, but it makes the force very questionable if they do throw anything at this. Luckily, Soulcast and Cryptic, both keeping armor, so they haven't got to repurchase that. But it's tricky when 3 people fall like that. It's a rough buy. It's a rough force if they decide to do it. But on the other side of that, it's 6 on the board for FNATIC, and potentially 7 before Liquid can buy back in, to be honest. and seeing good things here. Mystic Doma, Durka, comfortably above 5k on the economy. Magnum, the only one really struggling down on 900, but
Even then, though, alt economy wise as well.
exactly. Great
Good
progress.
position. You got Scream on the res. Yampi's one away. I think not too far off. This could be FNATIC following this back. Because as I said, this should be 9-7. Unless you're going to have like a pop-off from one of the Liquid boys.
Well, yeah,
FNATIC could definitely draw this back.
Potentially 9-7, another economy reset. It's 9-9 before you know it.
Exactly. Okay, alright, let's pay attention now. FNATIC. Let's see what you got. You've taken the necessary steps. You've converted the rounds that were outlined. We were looking to see if this could be achieved.
Here.
And the fast walk through mid. Boaster's gotten great progress done by this point. No one's hindered this so far. Try to maybe feel out positioning off screen. This can be such a horrible spot to clear. Here's the steps, pre-fire on the corner, gets attacked on the frag, but Link comes in for the trade, only able to convert on one though. Cryptic still backside, that's one of the danger men. Keep in mind he had a rifle, but Durka's just better with his. And the trades may come down, but it is just Yampy, but he does have his ult in a 1v2. Now the knives aren't his strong suit, but maybe he's been sharpening these skills. Tries to get involved here, they're both gonna face, not gonna get it. Mystic lives to fight another day, and FNATIC doing exactly as required.
The right click was money as well. She got the headshot onto Mystic, but that damage fall off means he didn't get the kill. Close to it, Scream unfortunately just, I guess, a little ahead of the peak there with the pre-fire on the judge.
Player standing.
So well handled by FNATIC though. Just all these weird angles cleared so quickly. Look at this right here. The most irritating noise to hear as a jet main and not get the kill.
Feels bad, man.
I mean, what did we just talk about? 9-7 now. This is the purchase for Liquid, and dare I say it, you know, bigger picture. Look at the ultimates for FNATIC. They're some of the key ones that they want to get working. Other than the showstopper, really, these are the ones that they can really shape around execute.
Let's see what Yampy can do. He might have 3 players to hold back, and if the pressure starts to build through ropes, he could be in trouble. Doesn't quite get the first that he'd want. Wants to double dip, though.
No way he repeaks this.
Of course, it's Yampy. Of course he repeaks it. I'm surprised he didn't charge it. He's having a bit of a battle with the turret for now, but he's alright. Now you can see the interest now turning. Yampy aware that maybe mid-pressure could be coming in, so has to peel away from this. Can't stay out towards ramp for too long. And both are beginning to look towards heaven.
Cryptic's actually tucked into hell right now. On the back of that early presence shown on A, it's brought an extra body from Liquid to that side of the map, but with the lockdown invested, I think they should know that the hit's coming towards B. Orbital Strike going to cancel out the lockdown. Good stuff, but a 2-for-1 trade for Liquid initially.
Yeah, surprised that Liquid actually got that. They've got 13 seconds though on the board here. FNATIC need to get a bit of a wiggle on. Where is that spike? In the hands of Mystic. So spike to be planted, no denial of that for now, but the retake's going to be deadly. 4 to the 3. And now Boaster wants to get involved, but he's going to get taken down by Soulcast. Big pick up for him, and this is a huge round for Liquid. This could keep them in there for the money, but there go the Seekers as well. Soulcast going to capitalize on that. Follow him in, and now it's all on Mystic. What can he do in a 1v5 post-plant? This ain't easy. He's going to get 1, but Liquid overwhelm. They'll make it to double digits. They keep 4 alive. But again, that was something where we saw the moments just flickering between the two sides. If FNATIC had broken Liquid there, or even just cost them more players, that could have been the economy in a bad position.
You're right as well. And yes, the res comes through just as the retake is getting going. But in terms of economy, that's huge for Liquid. Effectively bringing another one in. The Cosmic Divide, I love what they tried to go for here. But Magnum, unfortunately, the Seekers give away his position in hell, and he's not able to find a cheeky frag. I mean, Orbital Strike, Seekers, Revive. Cryptic's one away from the Viper's Pit, but Yampy nowhere close. a lot invested to kind of stop the momentum of FNATIC, and ultimately, economy-wise, FNATIC still sitting pretty.
Boaster's just thrown himself up middle again. They've been given a lot of freedom, but it's converting off the back of it. We have to see this time. Link on the other side here. Going to hear all of this. To consider, is this a bait? He's going to be getting good information relay off this so that no one's actually pushed through just yet. There's that flash. Not quite towards middle, sadly.
There.
Now the slower approach. Boaster tucks himself in. Fine margins here. Link outdone by Boaster. And now it's time to go, but look at where the spike is. It is still going to be that B piece. You've got the bait of the sound that there's potentially multiple people here, but the recheck coming in from the Sage going to ensure that, well, no one's here. They're trying to bait it. Get ready towards B. There's something going wrong. This doesn't seem right. This smells fishy. Soulcast, though, with a flash. Does catch one, but Doma outdoes him. Wasn't flashed enough. Doma wants more, but he can't get more. Boaster, though, from heaven could be the one to do it. Cryptix gets away with murder. 2 kills for him somehow. Brings us to a 2v3. Yampy and Scream still alive. This is not off the cards. It's just less likely. Durka playing CT. Gets downed by Yampy and Scream, the silent assassin. Working his way in. Boaster up on top of the rafters. That's been noted now. Both teams, knowing where each other is. And now it's just down to Doma in the 1v1. Yampy up on top. And Yampy keeping Liquid moving.
That's great there for Doma to be checking that as well, especially when Durka gets killed and he's got to call that. He's like, yeah, he's coming from spawn. He's coming from spawn. So both players reading that scenario. Yampy comes out on top in terms of the peak. Cryptic's going huge. Those 2 kills are massive for Liquid to stop that execute from coming through cleanly. And again, I love it. You point out Boaster just kind of playing mind games in ropes there, just tapping on and off the Scream's position and just sat there smiling. They can hold. And actually, on the back of that, a preemptive snake bite thrown into B lane, which I think is what Doma had to double satchel over, but it meant that nobody could follow him up onto site. So Cryptic's buying time as well as finding those kills.
Okay, ult comes in. That's a no sign, no entry posted towards B, but luckily for FNATIC, they were mostly eyeing up mid and a little towards A on this 3-2 split. It will be Scream on the other side now, though.
He's got a cheeky wall angle.
He's got an angle. Oh. Boaster keeps his life. I'm amazed he got out of that.
Here.
Good, but look who's staring down A main as Magnum. We'll actually cross there. Nobody in heaven actually holding this, and there's already Durka making his way through ropes as well.
Yampy. It's so sketchy. They seem aware of the possibility, but no one's, as you said, actively holding that.
The problem is they've got to cross again now. You can see the spike as well on the back of Mystic.
Fire in the hole.
Time to go. Ults pop. Doma needs to try and claim some space here. He's going to do just that. Brute force at best. Just might need to send. No! Link! Big pickup from the back of sight. Yampy still waiting, unable to see any of this really going down. 23 seconds, though. Spike just about crossing. No! Yampy denies the cross. Big pick from him. And that's 18 seconds. Liquid can now just funnel themselves into this to try and swarm at Boaster. He can maybe get down Yampy, but what more can he do? 11 seconds. They need that spike. They need these kills. Boaster, he's doing everything he can, but time has run away from him. It's a 1v2. 5 seconds. He can't get the spike. He can't get the plant in time. This has run away from him. Scream just toys with him.
A little weird. I'm not sure if that was a miscommunication, but Mystic actually stuns through hell as Doma's trying to sat you out, and it's actually him that prevents Doma from going any further. And Link just swings on like, okay, I'll give you the assist, Mystic. Not sure if Doma's original plan was to double sat you up to rafters or what, but getting caught out there and stunned means that the showstopper's completely cancelled out.
What I do know is we're on 12-7, Hypoc. This is it. It's all come down to this next round here. Quick little replay, as you can see. But I want to focus on the next one.
10 seconds left. I have this spike.
I want to take a quick look, see what FNATIC can purchase here, because again, we talked about it in the earlier rounds, and yeah, I mean, they've got a good shot. They've got a really good shot, but It's a lot to ask. And some key ultimates burned up in that previous round. No one close.
This is it. Yampy with the op, Cryptics by his side. Soulcast towards Heaven, Scream leaning over towards A, and Link in those rotations as required. And on the other side, FNATIC doing the same similar mid-take. Keep your eyes on Boaster, keep your eyes on Durka. Doma trying to keep the dedication of Yampy here. That should be a spot, that's some information.
Don't repeat it. Do not repeat that, Doma. Look at this, though. It's only Link over towards A.
Yampy's pushed up. He's going to go off this flash. He'll be able to take the space. Gets out of there. I thought that might have been a tag, and it is. Doma's on 1 HP. Lucky boy, but now the burst coming in through Heaven. This is what it comes down to. 1 round between the winning and losing of this one. Yampy going to deliver the bullets and the knives. Yampy up on top. That's 2. That's everything they need. Liquid walk away being the EMEA Challenger Playoff champions. The amount of doubters this team had, the roster changes that they made, the hard choices they've constantly come through with. And they walk away in the first place spot. Iceland awaits. Same can be said for FNATIC, but they are the champions of the EMEA.